can't believe I haven't found anything yet. There have been thousands of makers before me. You'd think one of them would have fiddled around with the soul before.
It feels like everyone and everything around me remembers where they've come from better than I do. But the only memory I'm concerned about is that of the storms. Where do they come from? And where do they go?
Honestly, I'm trying to make more friends. Some I can only hear. But they'll be here soon enough. After all, that's what summoning's for, isn't it? I'd love it if you could be my friend too.
The thing is, I can't help but wonder. Without all of those pieces, even just one or two, who would you become? And the people for whom those pieces are gone, who have lost the parts of themselves that magic has decreed one small piece of a whole, what happens to them?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Happy fucking Pride. We're back on June 1st. We're back after our mini break, and we're on session 10 of Fraying Threads. So I am so glad to be back. We have a lot to get to. I am Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am your GM. And as always, when we start a new session, we are going to go around and say, hey, who we are, who we're playing, your character sentence, and your downtime. We're going to start with Gena and go clockwise because Victor is going to do our character recap. So, Gena.
Woo! Hi, I'm Gena. She, her. I play Sophrona. Also she, her. She is an established ardent. Is she ardent? I can't remember.
Yes, you're an ardent.
Established ardent who is... Oh my god. I tried to do this.
Adored by
an
the
established
sea.
ardent of the Order of the Vance who is adored by the sea. Yeah. My downtime. I made a spell. Very exciting.
So happy for you.
Yeah. I made a spell. I learned a new spell. I learned so many new spells, actually. And I tracked a bunch of people, which I think we're going to get to in this session because she's going to tell all of you about it. But checked up on a whole bunch of people. She also... very small thing, but I think you'll be happy to know that she went with Ray to help out at the little shelter. She glazed some pottery.
Kian.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_Chiffon. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I am playing Aspen Thane, who is a connected gallant of the Order of Makers who walks with a secret companion. And Aspen was really productive and successful during downtime. It only took, 12 weeks and 9 sessions, but it's fine. I made a lot of stuff that I'm going to get to share with the group, and I'm really excited about it. I hung out with my buddy William the whole time because I was afraid. I'm filling time because I am looking for my pinned message where I told you all the things that I wanted to do. What else did I do? Oh, there it is. I did. Can I talk about my bond, Mare? Am I allowed to do that?
You can do whatever you like.
Okay. Aspen did take a new bond. Growth, shock and awe of nobody.
You mean a character arc?
Character arc, not a bond. Thank you. I'm a little frazzled right now. I bought also 2 new weapons, so I have 3 weapons now. I am fully armed. I'm ready to hit something.
None of which you are trained to use.
Nope, not at all. This is going to go really poorly, and I'm very, very squishy. I have no armor and no HP. Well, you have the same HP, but I have no armor. I took a lot of new fortes, so Helia is honestly probably beefier than Aspen now, which is pretty fucking cool. And I had the Unseen Children look in on Trempta, the angel. Got nothing except that they are very nice to the Unseen Children, which is really unfortunate. But the Unseen Children all really like hanging out with them. So I think that's all of my things. that I want to talk about right now, at least. There's going to be more.
Gilly.
Hi, I'm Gilly. I am Olika's Gilly, most places on the internet. Gilly is spelled with a G. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Lace, whose pronouns are she, they. Lace is a bizarre ardent of the Order of Weavers who splinters into fragments. And as you do, you know. And Lace spent time progressing in her order a little bit.
Her order.
Her order. So the problem is that in this time, Lace was a first degree weaver, but like future, now past Lace wanted to become a third degree weaver. So she kind of had to go to like not a rival split like cell, but just another cell that wasn't really like connected. It's like when you don't want to be noticed, so you go to a different coffee shop where people don't know you. So she did that. She learned some spells, some of which are very fun. And I did a lot of research into the things that we saw on the angels list of things to do. Which I don't feel like I should go into the specifics right now in the intro, but I did a lot of research on that, and I apparently pulled like the best card for research again. Woo! Go me. I mean, I'm not doing it, but you know, I will take credit. And what else did I do? Mostly that I progressed a little bit in my forte, but I also regressed in my forte because I realized I'd been counting things wrong, and math is hard actually. But I hadn't used any of those abilities, so it didn't really matter all that much. I spent a lot of acumen on buying spells because spells are good actually. I also, having successfully gotten the shard of my friend back, now have it secreted on my person because I'm aware that there is potentially an angel after it. So I want to keep it close, keep it secret, keep it safe.
On that, I also want to note that everyone, all the players, have felt like they've been being watched over these 12 weeks.
That's
very
true.
Intently.
And not just by my cat, who I presume has been continuing to extort me over this period.
He's been just kind of going back and forth between you and you.
He's like, great, 4 hands to pet me instead of 2.
Correct.
I like the idea that he comes to me and complains about that other Lace isn't like petting him enough.
At this point in time, probably.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Victor, who's going to do our recap as well.
Hello! My name is Victor. I use they, them pronouns, and I play Ray, who is a bizarre ardent of the Order of Goetica who disgorges creatures and uses he, him pronouns. Last time on Fraying Threads, we were coming back together after sort of splintering apart at the end of the last session. Aspen came to talk to Ray about, trying to change after his incredibly sad development scene, which if you haven't watched is very wonderful. You should watch on YouTube. It's also just very emotional, rough. I love it. We had a good conversation in which Aspen was like, can we be friends? And Ray's like, yes, definitely. And we're gonna go. We're good. We got this. We're gonna work together. Lace and Sophrona were talking about everything that could happen in the world. Potentialities with meeting with trying to stop this fragment theft, and who might try to stop it and who steals what and everything. We came together as a group, Aspen and Lace carefully burying the hatchet, as we figure out the next steps, which includes Ray summoning an angel to try and figure out some new things, and everyone else going weapon shopping. Ray succeeds in summoning an angel and succeeds in asking it about the angel that has been watching us, and we learn about Drempta's name and some stuff that pretty much is like, oh, Drempta's trying to make sure that the legacy happens by putting stuff some places and everything, and it involves fucking people's lives up. So we're kind of mad at it at Drempta. And then finally the confrontation happens, where we fought an aspen tree as well as Songbird, who is panicked and hungry. But sort of Songbird is worked up to the point where they are misunderstanding what food can nourish them. And the aspen tree had been menacing us and in a very violent fashion. So Frona summoned Seamus, which was badass as hell. Ray tried to feed the aspen tree to Songbird after getting through for a moment. But within that planning, Lace did some really badass moves and kissed the tree into ash. But it did as well as Aspen protecting everyone by doing like a triple. They're not ciphers. They
Ephemera.
are ephemera. The triple ephemera move, which was freaking radical, summoning a giant bird, shooting something. Yeah, and then getting the extra actions. Very cool. And then Ray just ended up locked under a vine as Songbird, in despair, fucked right off. And then we decided, after saving Frankie's shard, that we were going to wait for time to catch up, which has led to, everyone's downtime, long downtime. In Ray's downtime, he has spent more time at Orleans shelter. I'm so bad at remembering these names. In the Hollows, and has actually just decided that he's gonna work on cleaning up around the shelter, and has been cleaning up trash, clearing out like smelly water, and as well as still helping out the people of the Hollows, the Hollow people, to fill in any cracks, and add artistry to their bodies if they would like it. Spent some time with Sophrona doing that, as well as developing a friendship that he had made with someone who Aspen does not like, Adastrea. As in his movement to the 3rd level of the Order of Goetica, he had Adastrea oversee that as well. And they decided to celebrate afterwards in a lovely development scene that we put somewhere. It's not up yet.
It's not up yet, but it will be posted at some point. You'll know.
Yeah, you'll know. Ray was flirty and kind, and got to dress up as a giant moth shark man. It was great. And that brings us to where we are now.
Thank you very much. Just as a reminder, if you would like to tip us, we have a Pally, which is split between all of us, and Twitch doesn't take anything. So if you like what we're doing and if you like our story, we have a little Pally tip page right there up in chat. Also, as another reminder, we have a content warning. Invisible Sun, by its nature, has mature themes in it, which might not be suitable to all audiences, but we have specific content warnings for us, which are manipulation, body horror, which will probably show up today, and I added a new one this week, which is substance abuse, specifically alcohol, which might come up. Depends what our players do. All right, and we shall begin. On the Silver Sun, I have pulled the cat. A value of 6. Notions, cats, clocks, wind, meaning, solitude, curiosity, cleverness, and dexterity. This is a companion card. Do I pull another one? No. Nope, I have to pull another card because it cannot duplicate the effects of the last card because this is the first card in play. So what we are actually playing on the green sun is the Conspirator. Value of 7, secrets, ravens, books, and flame, upheaval, hidden agendas, and gossip. The Conspirator keeps to the shadows, whispering with others like her. How many conspirators are there? Who is involved? We never know. Those hushed whispers in the right or wrong ears can tear us all apart, bring us all crashing down. The Conspirator is the defender of secrets. She guards them and the family they represent. It is her role to know the secrets and spread them as needed, whispering to just the right people at the right time. This is the defender card, so gallants get a +2 to their ventures. We're going to start off with Lace. Lace. Last 12 weeks ago, you were able to get Frankie's missing shard that has been keeping them in shadow. During this whole thing that happened in the second half of last session, you saw Frankie and you saw your friend Ray, which we call Short Ray to differentiate from player character Ray.
Ray with a W.
Yes, Ray with a W. But W is also a very long word, so I'm going to just say Short Ray. And she's been trying to find you.
Yeah.
How long do you allow her to find you, first of all? And second, how long does it take? Like, where in this part of the 12 weeks of downtime, if you do let her find you, how long into this?
I don't think it takes long because I think that Lace is like very conflicted about a lot of this, and so I think she's kind of half-heartedly like hopping around. She's obviously trying to stay out of other her's way, but she's already talked to Shard. Like Shard knows.
Shard knows.
And Ray has already seen her because she saw when we got the shard. And also, Lace doesn't really know if the right thing to do would be to give it to her now, so that, like, because that would decrease Frankie's suffering, but also might screw up the timeline of, like, it's recursive. I don't know. So I think it probably only takes a couple of weeks.
Okay. So this is like 4 weeks in to the 12-week downtime. Where does she find you?
I think this is probably while I'm doing research. I'm probably like at either a bookstore or a library, just like pouring through books.
All right. While you are doing research on literally everything that you learned during downtime, you hear a short little from behind you.
I reserved the table. The table is mine for an hour.
Lace, it's me.
Oh. Hello.
Have you been avoiding me? Like,
What would give you that impression?
Besides the fact that, like, the last time I tried to get your attention, you kind of just turned around and walked down the street.
I was very busy. I realized that I forgot to get my coffee and I'd ordered it. So, you know, like, I don't just want to leave it there on the counter because that would be rude to the baristas who carefully crafted my beverage.
Ray inhales and sighs before pulling out another chair at the table and, like, sitting down across from you.
This is a quiet room.
It'll be okay. We're like one of 5 people in here today. Okay, fine. I won't take up too much of your time. What happened a couple weeks ago? Because when I tried to ask you when I saw at your house like 2 weeks ago, you had no clue what I'm talking about. So, like, what's going on? What happened to Frankie? Like,
well, so you know time?
Yeah, it's the thing that keeps going forward.
Well, unless it doesn't, though, right?
She like stares at you. Please don't tell me you're implying what I think you're implying.
It really depends on whether you think I'm implying that I'm from the future.
She like points her finger at you. Are you?
I'm from the future.
Oh shit. Okay, but like, okay, so this explains why when I saw you at your house the other day, you didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
She has no idea what's going on.
And also why Shard had a shit-eating grin.
I'm sorry, that's in no way different from Shard on any other
it was
day.
it was like twice as wide. It was like Cheshire Cat wide.
I'm not convinced that it isn't artificially enhanced, but that's another thing for
no,
another
Shard
time.
Shard is Shard. Okay. And like her voice gets a little lower. Okay, but like that still doesn't explain like why were you there?
I had to get the shard, okay? Frankie was missing a shard, and now I have the shard, okay?
So you made your own problem.
I mean, yes, but to be fair, I also recognized as soon as it happened that there was a possibility that I created my own problem. So it was really sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay. So is this why
Someone else wanted the shard. Now they can't have it. So
is this why we haven't been able to keep Frankie here?
yes, that is precisely why. Because when I came through, all of my pieces were here. So they all came over at once, right?
Right.
Someone took one of his. He wasn't able to, the cohesion. It wasn't there.
Something's missing.
Something is missing. And now I have the thing. But the problem is, I wanted to come see you immediately and be like, hey, Ray, I have the thing. But the problem is, if I give you the thing now, then I might not go back to get the thing.
Yeah, that sounds like a conundrum.
Right?
Like, why the fuck is time travel so confusing?
So weird. Chick is so weird. Also, I'm looking up the sword. And
Sword?
it's a long story. But I'm looking up the sword. And this sword is, supposed to, bind something about soul mining. I don't know. I'm not clear on the details. But the point is that magic is really, really weird.
Yeah, but that's not new.
No, it's not new, but it is worth noting.
Sure. She leans back in her chair and crosses her arms, just getting a really thoughtful look on her face. So what do you want me to do? Can I help with anything?
I don't know. I mean, I want to give it to you to because if I can stop Frankie from suffering, then I should do that, right? Because you're gonna bring. Actually, have you tried to bring him over again yet? You probably haven't. That is gonna happen in a couple of weeks. Maybe don't do that. But then I won't talk to him.
I did recently try to bring him back. It's the same thing. Oh
Yeah.
God, where in the timeline? Hold on. I gotta look at something really important.
I don't remember when we had the conversation.
This is shortly the festival is very soon.
Okay, so it's
It hasn't happened yet, but it's very soon.
Yeah. So just here's what I think. It's gonna suck, but just do what you were gonna do.
Which was which was
right. I mean, whatever the vibes tell you, follow your vibes.
Follow my vibes. Okay.
And then now it's going to be 8 weeks, right? Because before, 8 weeks. I will go back, and then I will be me.
So you're trying to catch up right now.
Yes.
Okay.
You are taking this way better than I thought you would.
I did just kind of get a little traumatized a month ago when I saw you here and Frankie just disappeared.
Yeah.
They were my first person to bring back from Shadow, and it was just not how I was hoping it was going to go.
It's not a great experience, but also there was a tree that was trying to kill us, so it was a very complicated situation.
I'm glad the mist showed up and I didn't see you have to almost die.
Yeah, I mean, it was it's a complicated thing. The mist, yes, Sophrona makes a cool mist. I will say that.
Never met her, but she sounds cool.
I mean, you probably will, eventually.
Probably. Okay. So vibes. My vibes tell me to listen to what my boss tells me to do.
Yes, yeah, just like act normal.
Okay. And if I see
Don't be suspicious.
And if I see not you, but you in the next 8 weeks, what do you want me to do?
Just act normal.
It's like pretend I don't know anything.
Pretend you don't know anything. Just be like, hey Lace, what's up? This really fucking weird thing is happening with Frankie, and I'll be like, oh no, I should solve this problem. And then I'll create a conspiracy board, and it will kind of snowball from there.
That sounds like you. That really does sound like you.
It's a really good board. Some of it was even correct. So, yeah, basically, me that is not me doesn't know anything.
Okay.
Shard knows some, probably more than we think.
But it's also Shard.
It's also Shard. Shard is in this for Shard, which is fine.
Yeah. Cat's got to look out for himself.
Sure.
Are you still going to the Festival of the Suns in a couple days?
Not me.
But no, just in general. Just you, not you now, but you that's currently probably at home.
Yes. Me, them,
Okay.
me is going.
Okay.
Actually, my friends will be there. My other friends will be there. So you'll probably meet them then.
Okay. I'll try to play casual and act worried.
You're not
Actually,
very good
no,
at lying.
I don't have to pretend to be worried because I am worried, you know?
Yeah. Just don't be suspicious, okay?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Okay. Saturday really needs to really start utilizing memes to their extreme.
Yeah. It's an untapped market.
Yeah. We could probably actually sell memes here, but then that's a waste. That's a waste.
The memosphere?
Probably. Okay, anyway, more serious. Okay, thank you for telling me and not just lying to my face.
Well, I like to tell the truth when possible and not inconvenient to me.
If you need any help after you catch up, you know how to get in contact with me.
Well, I mean, I'm probably gonna I'll give you this, but I need to wait until I think it's, safe to do that.
Well, if you still need me for anything else besides that, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Can I give you a hug?
I think Lace does, Lace does, the air kisses, the mwah, mwah.
Okay. She gives you a hug. And, as she's, hugging you, she just, whispers, be safe, okay?
You too. Don't let the shadow bite.
Yeah, I'm gonna try real hard not to let that happen.
You did a good job bringing Frankie over. It's not your fault.
Thanks. I really needed to hear that. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
And she will leave you to the rest of your research.
So much research.
Is there anything else you'd like to conclude with the scene?
I think this is probably the day that she finds out about what the Soulbinder sword is.
Half of your research is learning about this myth, and on the other half of the table is a stack of comic books.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Once she gets that information about the sword, she will let her friends know. And I think the way she does this, because I think she's staying with someone associated with the other Weaver cell that she was working with, and so everybody at wherever they're staying probably gets a note that just says like sword protection question mark comic books exclamation point.
Just no context.
In Lace's mind, this is like 100% of what they need to know.
Perfect. And then throughout the next 2 months, you continue to do the rest of research on your other leads.
The other things that I learned, yes.
Okay. In that case, we're going to switch to Sophrona. Sophrona. On the blue sun, I have pulled another card for you. As soon as I get to the letter R, I pulled the Relentless Rumor. Value of 3, secrets, ravens, books, and flame. Meanings, endless half-truths, incessant drives, and ruthlessness.
Uh-oh.
There is never a real truth in whispered rumors. Searching for authenticity amid the clandestine, furtive words of a rumor is a fruitless task. And yet, still we try. We listen. Despite the lack of complete veracity, though, this rumor is relentless. It cannot die, and a living rumor is one not just told and told again, but believed and believed again. Addiction and relentless drives are a part of this. Needs and compulsions are strong motivators, and they never stop pushing. Green magic is enhanced, and pale is hindered. This happens the day that you know the 4 of you got on the hot air balloon in the Fade and left for Emerin. What are you doing that day?
What am I doing that day? Oh, that is so late into the timeline.
It
so
is
I would have
very
finished
late.
I would have finished my spell already.
Mm-hmm.
I would have learned my other spell already.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing, actually. It's like she's probably taking. What I'm going to say is, I think she would have finally visited what used to be the botanical spiral that Gena knows is I think it's a park now.
So where Botanical Spiral used to be, which was
Yes.
Drosera's nursery and plant shop,
Yes.
is now a community garden run by Alana Albion, and also a community fridge, where fridge and pantry where people can leave what they can and take what they need.
Yep. Sophrona has not. She's avoided this the entire time. But since I think we are now very close to wrapping all the way around, I think she will have finally gone to check that out, see what's there now, because we're finally wrapping around.
Yeah,
So that's what she's doing that day.
What are you doing when you get there? Because it's very nice. There's a couple fruit trees, but it's mostly just raised garden beds full of a variety of different fruits, both familiar and not.
I think she will be taking a very slow amble around to try and get used to the space, because she has spent a lot of time at the botanical spiral, so she was very used to it. So she's going to try and build the same sort of like familiarity with this community garden now, because that's the new space now. Yeah.
As you are ambling and walking around, you suddenly feel like a presence behind you, and you hear the familiar voice of Emery. Hey, kid.
Hey.
What's you up to?
I was gonna say, what are you, a cop?
Hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. And he takes like a long drag of a cigarette and makes sure to like blow the smoke away from you. What are you up to now that your other self has taken a nice little grand trip into the extraction?
Well, I feel like now that we're looping back around, I guess I can say it out loud.
I really didn't want to bother you because I've read a lot of sci-fi. I watched a lot of sci-fi movies back in the shadow, and I wasn't touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I appreciate it.
But now I can be nosy as much as I want. If you want me to not be nosy, just tell me and I'll back the fuck off. But, like, it doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Yeah, no, I think think it's a good time to be nosy. I think we've gotten into a bit of a pickle, as they say.
What kind of
Messing with-
pickle? Because you came back in time, kid.
Yeah.
That's like
That-
a big pickle.
See, that one was an accident. We didn't do that on purpose.
Okay.
So I think if that's the ground floor of the pickle of like time by accident, it's not looking great for the upper floors. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know what the rest of the troop, as I imagine.
Oh,
are
did more
planning to do for it.
people come? I've really only been keeping an eye on you, but
It's the usual suspects.
okay. All right. So your buddies.
My buddies. We've run into a bit of a problem with an angel, which I'm sure is not. It's
Okay.
not great to start with.
Yeah, usually
um,
demons are the problem, so
Yeah. So it's not great to start with, but I feel like we've muddled about with some legacy stuff.
like the creation myths legacy stuff.
Yeah. Yes. The myth legacy. It's one of those things where I'm not sure if we're not supposed to be meddling with it, or if it's like part of the grand design that we're messing with it. You know, I don't.
Like I don't know that much about the legacy, but like what I do know, it's like a legacy myth.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's the
It's
thing.
like-
But also, like, if it happens to be true, I'd kind of like to still be existing.
that's my thought. Well, we haven't stopped existing yet.
Which,
Is-
thank goodness, thank the suns.
But you know, it's like if the world is a spell, it might take a hot second for it to unravel,
Whoop.
so to speak. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. I don't have a lot of great details past that, but that's what we're doing.
Like, okay, but like, why are you meddling?
I don't. It's one of those things where it's like you start at point A, and then all of a sudden you find yourself at point 17, and you're not sure when you switched alphabets at some point. But this was. Do you know Emran? How is
He gives you a confused look.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You gotta explain to me what you're asking, because I don't know what you're trying to ask me.
Yeah. But it's like,
Like, now I'm curious, what's an Emerin?
see, this is the point where it's like,
Oh, this is time stuff.
yeah. You at one point had known that there was in the Lower Towers Wood a memorial to Emerin and her children, a half-world that had collapsed some hundreds of years ago. You had known this at some point. You no longer know this at some point.
Yeah, no, I do not know this.
Emerin is no longer collapsed.
Good
So
for
that's
them.
how we've got.
Good for them.
That's how we've gotten here, though.
I see.
So we had uncollapsed Emerin and gotten into this mess about the legacy, and it's.
I need like a conspiracy board to keep track of all this.
I can source you one that's going to be made in about 8 weeks or something. Actually, no. No, I think it might be. We could just grab it now. Actually,
It's okay. It's okay. I don't know how much help I can be, but if you get into more trouble, I know a lot of folks in the undersling that would be great with fisticuffs, myself included. Because if you're dealing with an
That's-
angel who's trying to, protect the legacy, I know that I got a couple goetic friends. I know as much you shouldn't fuck with them. And if you're going to continue this, for whatever reason, best of luck. But if you need an extra, let me know.
I appreciate it. I don't think any of us know where it's gone from here, but I appreciate it.
He kind of obnoxiously, in a brotherly manner, pops his hand on your head and like ruffles your hair. Don't worry, I specifically missed the ship.
That's good. Well,
Are you thinking of getting a plot here?
I didn't realize that was a thing. This used to be something different. It used to be a plant store, a nursery. So
You sound like you
I think
really
I
liked
should.
it. Well, I know Alana if you need a good word.
Hmm. I'll think about it. It's a little bittersweet, you know?
Well, I'll let you mourn in peace. You know where to find me. I'm usually sleeping at the house or in my office, so...
Glad that hasn't changed.
Yeah, and if you really can't find me, it means I'm busy doing extracurriculars and you should not bother me. Yes, that look, Ray. Victor is correct. This man is
That's
a
so sad.
bisexual disaster, y'all. He's a mess.
Who could have guessed?
He
Ever guessed?
He takes another drag of his cigarette and gives you a nod and a little wave and starts heading back to his room at the house without a key.
Now I gotta go back. It's like awkwardly walking 20 feet behind. No.
Oh, that's okay. All right. One more card. One more scene before we get... Actually, no. This is the drama. We're getting to the drama. It's fine. Before the group drama. Let me put it that way. On the Indigo Sun, I have pulled the Elusive Sleep. Where is it? Okay. Value of 6, visions, swans, blades, and water. Meanings futility, worry, stress, and awareness. The richest noble cannot buy sleep. The strongest among us cannot compel its submission. Even the wisest person might lose a night's rest to anxiety. Still, when we're awake, we are aware, and that awareness can be crucial. Blue magic is enhanced and red is hindered. So I know this scene is supposed to be between Aspen and Ray, but I have no clue how it starts. So why don't y'all fill in the blanks?
I have a suggestion. I think that people can't sleep. And I think Ray is just like anxious the closer we're getting to catching up, and like with this like visions like showing up, not visions, like feeling watched and not knowing where it's coming from and not really trying to focus on other things.
It's
I
anxiety.
think Ray can't sleep, and I think Ray goes looking for Aspen. Because there's also like a lot on Ray's mind about Aspen right now.
Aspen is living at Williams right now, and having heard what Aspen has heard through the grapevine, having heard that Adastrea was seen with a shark man, both finely dressed in the Marquis Quarter, on what sounds like a date, is furiously is just holed up in the workshop trying to keep themselves busy. And yeah, is just really wrapped up in that, is very, very focused on that. But is at Williams.
Yeah, and that's where Ray goes looking for Aspen. At his own risk.
If you go to Williams, William would open the door for you, greet you, because I feel like you all had an open invite to his house, and knowing the situation that y'all are in would probably have given you all like a coin, with the caveat that, hey, when you catch up, I need these back. But if you're polite, and knock on the door, he would answer.
Which Ray would. And Ray'd be like, I know it's a little late. I'm so sorry.
No worries, no
Okay.
worries. I was just reading. Don't worry.
Is Aspen up?
With all of the hammering of glass, yes. And
You can hammer glass?
no, glass was not my forte. I'm used to smithing. But yes, they are working they're in the glass blowing shop.
Gotcha.
Do you know where it is?
That's how you can. No.
Okay. I will lead you there. He's been very focused. He seems pissed. So I would be careful. Like, they are on
Tea over coffee then.
They are on a making frenzy.
Ooh.
I haven't heard
I've
any
done that.
Yeah. I haven't heard any explosions, which is good. But yeah, follow me.
Yeah.
And he leads you to a lower floor, a basement, where there's so much different tools and furnaces and all that stuff. And he eventually brings you to a corner where you see a glass blowing furnace and all of the tools of the trade for that. And I'm assuming an Aspen.
Yes. You would see different ingredients and materials kind of littered about. It's a very chaotic workshop, and I assume that Ray has visited Aspen before in their workshop at home. Very similar. Aspen is not a tidy person, much to Osmond's disdain. Osmond hates it. There are always things everywhere. But just as you are approaching, you would see Aspen cooling what looks like just a small glass, almost like a pendant, and is kind of cooling it and then laying it out, and probably honestly doesn't even hear you over all of the thoughts.
I have an important question for you, Kian.
Uh-oh.
What does Aspen wear when they make?
Ooh. Ah, nuts. Knowing what you asked me before, weirdly enough, Ray, Aspen is dressed in all black clothing. Very similar to what you would have seen from Adastrea. Aspen does not get their fancy clothes dirty. So sweating furiously, hair pulled back, very haphazard, this is Aspen in his element, and he is just, very plain clothes, no shoes. To the risk, there's glass everywhere.
I was about to say, that's fucking risky. What the
Aspen
fuck?
wears no shoes. It's so freaking hot next to the
There's
furnace.
a fern.
You
That's
can
even more reason to wear
You
a
can
shoe.
drop molten
Listen.
glass on your feet. Helia has been lecturing you ever since you started doing this.
Yep, it is so freaking hot next to the furnace, and I have to wear layers to protect the rest of my body. That shoes are a no-go. Cuts all over, because the worst has happened. Honestly, scarring has probably that's the most scarred portion of Aspen's body is his feet.
His freaking
And
barefoot maniac feet.
oh yeah.
What the fuck?
There's a show that I will talk to you guys about later, but I recently heard about Shoeless Joe. It's a whole thing. Lives in the Appalachian Mountains. You would
Cotton
see
Eye Joe's brother.
what?
It was just a very stupid comment. I said Cotton Eye Joe's brother. It's where he
I
went.
love it. You would also see on Aspen's arms very fine line tattoo work. These are just almost like doodles, just single lines kind of traced all around down both arms. These are always covered because Aspen wears layers and coats and fancy clothing. So you would see these. If you had seen Aspen work, you would have seen them before. Probably not fully pulled up sleeves. It's almost like Aspen is very much laid bare in this workshop in a way that they are not enjoying, but is sort of where they're at.
I think that as they approach, rather than startle you by calling out your name, I think Aspen would start to see a wisp sort of try and call their attention.
It looks
And
like
Ray,
smoke.
yeah, it looks like smoke, but it's solid. It solidifies into something aquatic, a small swimming creature. This is Ray's familiar. It is a creature from the Grey Sun, which is a wisp, like a shark wisp. Just a bit of fin air. Fin air.
Your sheer joy at that made my day. Thank you
But
for that.
But yeah, Finnair just sort of like starts to float around Aspen's head to try and draw attention, but not like startle, hopefully. But that it is an attempt.
Is Finnair corporeal, however you say it, in any way?
No, I'll say no.
Okay.
So when Finnair first comes around, Aspen honestly probably just like, Helia, you know I have to focus on this part. I don't want to drop it. I'm nearly done with everything. Like, is
When you're done, you have a guest.
and takes a moment to make sure that everything is set before turning around. First looking at Finnair and kind of just like, I'm sorry, what? And then would turn to Ray. Hello, you've caught me surprised, I'll admit. I did not expect to see you.
It is pretty late.
Is there anything I can do for you?
I wanted to know if you wanted to go get some tea.
I am in the middle of something. This is actually perfect timing. I'm in the middle of something that I think will be helpful for you if I can finish this very quickly and
Okay.
change. And sure. And before really waiting for an answer, Aspen will turn back around and finish it up. And it is I feel very silly. I don't know how to say this word. A brooch? A brooch? How do you say
Brooch
it?
is the correct the
Brooch.
correct pronunciation.
Aspen also probably would not know, but it is a brooch, and it's all made out of glass. And if you look closely, there's a very poor imitation of the very first sculpture that Ray ever made for Aspen on it, and would hold it out to you and say, I know that you've been worried about Songbird and their emotions and how upset they are, and I think that this will help. And so this is a level 4 item that allows you to change a creature's emotional state. Depletion is 0 to 2. And I'll drop this.
I put it in both of your chats.
Bless you. Thank you.
I was so close to taking that spell too. I was like this close.
Great minds think alike. But yes, would hand that to you.
I think Ray, while seeming a little bit anxious, is calm, seeing Aspen, and that anxiety sort of melts away as he like looks at the brooch, and he grins really softly, and he's just like, "See, this is why you'd be great at clay too. This is beautiful."
If you'll just give me a moment, I will be back. You can wait in the kitchen. I'm sure that William still has some cookies. Unless are we getting tea in William's kitchen?
No, I was thinking that since you treated me to coffee the other day, I could treat you to tea.
All right. Yes, if you just want to wait in the kitchen, I will be back shortly. And you would see Aspen reach for the music box that he carries religiously at this point. But I would head upstairs and put on just, change out of my clothes, simple tunic top, a jacket, hiding the tattoos, kind of reset my hair, just enough effort to where Aspen feels presentable since they're going out in public. But would, come downstairs. Actually, in the privacy I would want to talk to Helia for a moment.
Sensing
Well-
your state, she looks at you.
I feel like we can both guess what this is about.
Maybe. I think you're a little too worried about it. Ray is a very, very nice person.
I don't think I'm worried about it. I am worried about how angry I am.
Do you want to do some breathing exercises?
I think that's an excellent idea. And would sit on the bed and do breathing exercises that at this point, Helia has probably walked Aspen through multiple times. William has walked Aspen through them.
Even though she can't breathe? She doesn't have lungs?
Well, I suppose I should be off. I promise not to rely on you to tell me what to do for this conversation. But it will be very comforting to have you around. If you would like to join me.
I'm going to join you either way. And then she like takes both of her hands and kind of like rubs your face even though you can't feel it. You're going to do great.
I appreciate it, darling. Let's go and see where Ray would like to get some tea.
I have a suggestion from my random name list for establishments if you want a place for tea. Yeah. The Dapper Ghost is a late night cafe in Fartown ran by ghosts.
Amazing.
It was perfect.
I do want to note that when Aspen comes down with Helia, Ray is talking at the kitchen just in case Helia was there. And it's just like, hope you've been well. I heard that you changed your look a little bit, so if we can get like Lace to draw you, I'm sure I can make a new statue of you. And he's just, I think he's just munching on a cookie, like, and talking at the room. And then when he hears Aspen coming, he's looking, he's like, ready?
I will look at Helia and kind of smile and tilt my head over to Ray. And I will use my new Forte ability, Unseen Assistance, which allows Helia to take a very minor physical action. So if she is inclined to do anything to fuck with Ray, I am happy to let her do it.
Ray, well, you're the only one who can see her, Aspen, but Ray, what happens is Helia walks over to you and does the equivalent of like butterfly kisses with her flower petals like on your cheeks. So you just feel this very soft touch on your face. Kind of like just a small kiss.
I think Ray like blinks and looks around and he's just like, oh, Aspen, I think is that Helia?
We've been working.
That's so cool.
She wanted to give you a kiss.
Oh.
She appreciates you trying to include her in conversation.
Yeah.
Even though she was upstairs with me, but it's all right.
I had to give it a chance, you know? I think he laughs and he's just like, all right, well, you're looking dapper. I'm as awake as a ghost, so a great tea place to go to.
Away we go.
And Ray just is happy to like sort of walk out with Aspen, and it's just, I think on the way there, unless Aspen brings up like a conversation, Ray is just talking about like the stuff he's been doing around the hollows and like the new artwork that he's been able to do with some of the hollowed folk.
Aspen engages, but very subdued. Kind of just the, polite, oh, I love that, or it sounds like you're having a lot of fun. And doesn't seem as nervous as one would expect for a similar situation, because you've seen Aspen worked up. But seems a little bit more centered. Isn't as fidgety. Doesn't seem to be, fully avoiding or pulling back from anything. But yeah, would engage in quiet conversation and follow along.
Yeah, that's and again, Ray has no ulterior motives about this visit. It's just very much I can't sleep, and I don't know if my friend is asleep, but Aspen is a late night person. I think is fair to say. Uh,
Uh, as I told Mare maybe yesterday, Aspen doesn't sleep, doesn't eat, doesn't wear shoes in their glass blowing shop. So Aspen is a little bit of a wreck. It's cool. It's cool. He is precious. He's never done anything wrong in his life, and I love him.
Okay.
I am concerned. Yeah, Ray. I think Ray is just like, um, I think he would bring up like as they approach the Dapper Ghost that like, William said that you were feeling, upset about something.
It's just I've been working really hard on a couple of things and haven't been getting much sleep, trying to make sure that we have at least a few things that may be helpful for whatever is coming down the line. But you know, just trying to make use of the time, keep my mind busy.
Gotcha. Okay. And Ray is like happy to go in as if he has known the place because I think he's like visited a couple times now when he can't sleep. So it just takes like Aspen to like his favorite little table. And sits down and he's just like, yeah, the orange honey tea is really nice here.
I will trust you on that. It is one of William's favorites. Whenever I can't sleep, he'll make me a cup. Mayor, I am curious how are things served here? Do we see everything going on behind the kitchen counter?
Just kind of like when you sit down, like you would know this, right? You just kind of like speak to the air and eventually stuff will be carried over to you.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
This is quite the unique place.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know it's within walking distance. I'll try to make do with that. And Ray would probably notice by now, Aspen has not asked any questions about what Ray has been up to.
Yeah, I think. I feel like Ray's just like, yeah, I've been telling Aspen everything I've been up to. Like, there's no need for questions. And I think it's just sort of like looks over at Aspen, and it's just like, so you've been making a lot. I'm working really hard on preparation. Like, is there anything else you've been up to?
Really not much. I have acquired, hear me out, I know that you all will think this is a terrible idea, but I have acquired a few weapons. And
Okay.
Aspen will, Aspen's a fucking idiot, so probably would do this. Will sort of like Clockman in Hercules. Hey, want to buy a clock? I make that reference in every stream that I'm in. But would open it up, and there is a pistol and a dagger in Aspen's coat.
I not in a restaurant. Oh, just
I haven't practiced, so they're staying very safely away. But
yeah.
again, I kept my distance last time, so I thought maybe a sword isn't his best. So I thought I could try to throw the dagger, but that seems a lot more difficult than firing a pistol. At least that's got sights on it. I could look through the irons and maybe be able to hit my target. So I'm just trying to be prepared. I did ask the unseen children about Dremta and got no helpful information, but apparently Dremta is very popular with them and likes to leave them candy. Oh, speaking of, because this is a new place, Aspen would sprinkle some candy in a corner, not knowing if he is reaching directly through a ghost, but just leaving it for the unseen children if they are inclined. Why are you shaking your head, Mare?
Nothing.
Ray's like, back in Shadow, um, I'm pretty sure I learned how to use a gun. So,
Okay.
No, just because I'm pretty sure we hunted a bit. I'm sure that's different from pistols, but if you want like a buddy to go, maybe there's something approximately close to a shooting range somewhere in Saturnine?
I mean, between you're pretty sure that you know and my confidence that I don't, I'm sure we could figure something out.
I mean, I have some pieces I've been meaning to break up to make back into clay.
Okay. I thought that you meant pieces like guns, and I was like, is Ray just walking around
No.
ready to go? I understand now.
Yeah, sorry, like clay things that you could just like shoot at to break, like cans.
I got you now.
Yeah.
Well, if you would be so kind as to offer them up, I will take you up on that. If I have time, there's a lot going on, but I am trying very much to yeah, stay busy. So if I have any downtime, I will be sure to reach out.
Okay. Speaking of shadow, it's come to my attention that like not everyone has trouble remembering shadow. Um, I thought that was like an everyone thing, but then again, not until like I really made friends with you all that I really got close enough to talk to anyone about their shadow experiences. Everyone always is just like, it's the worst. Being in shadow is awful. And I'm like, I don't really remember most of it.
Hearing Ray say that, Aspen will kind of just quietly laugh. Sort of just, a little, of course people say that. Well, it wasn't terrible for all of us.
I'm glad.
Why are you bringing this up, Ray?
I mean, this specifically is because I was just thinking about my very few memories of shadow. But I also might have seen a picture that I think was of you in shadow.
Where would you have seen a picture of me in shadow?
So, a friend of mine, has newspapers from Shadow.
Aspen, kind of opens his mouth and closes it, kind of takes, starts and stops, is trying to figure out what to say. And then would look down at the cup. I am guessing you're talking about Adistrea? It's all right. I know that you two had a lovely evening recently.
Yeah. I wasn't keeping that a secret in case you feel.
It just seemed a little hesitant when you said a friend.
Well, because I don't know. I don't talk about like the things I kept from Shadow. You don't talk about your thing that you keep from Shadow, or do you?
You would have heard Aspen talks about travel. For the table, Aspen keeps their passport because they traveled extensively with their friend. You would have heard Aspen talk about travel, but would not have actually pulled out the passport to show it. What news articles does she feel like she needs to keep?
So I don't think that Like, I don't think that it's polite to say what they are, but the way that you talk, and I think the way that you feel angry right now, I think you already have a suspicion of what you expect it to be.
Of course she would feel like that's her guilt to keep. Of course she would hold on to that. Sounds about right. Why do you want to talk about this, Ray? You already know where I stand with her. You know my problems with her. I'm sure that you saw.
I mean, the reason I brought up Shadow was honestly because I was talking about not having a lot of memories about it. I guess the reason I want to talk up to you about this right now is you have not been okay for a while, and I guess this is part of it. And I want to, I don't know.
You guess that why I'm not okay is because the person who killed my best friend is alive and here, and he is not. They are not.
Yeah?
I think that's a pretty good guess, Ray.
Hmm?
Do you get it now? Why I didn't want her around anybody?
I get it. But also, I probably will continue to try and be friends with her.
And that is your bad decision to make.
Okay.
And Aspen is like almost physically trying to stop themselves.
Helia actually
Nuts.
gently puts like a leafy hand on your shoulder. Even though it's not very tangible, there's still just a slight pressure of a presence. And she's not saying anything. She's letting you live in your emotions for this because she knows how important this is to you, like how much it has hurt you and this trauma that you have been holding on for a very long time. So she's not saying anything to discourage you, but she is here for you.
You mentioned, well, you hinted at, and Shard confirmed, that Adastrea likes to partake a little bit, too much. Sometimes likes to indulge. Is that because of this?
I don't know. I haven't asked her directly. Just like I'm not trying to bring up anything painful for you.
Feel free, Ray. I think it is all out there.
Okay. Do you think that she did what she did on purpose?
I don't think that's ever mattered to me.
Okay. And that's fair. I hope that you know that you are allowed to feel as angry and as hurt as possible. You don't have to ever forgive anyone who's hurt you. The only thing that you have to do, and is live, dear.
And that is what I was doing. I was working every day to find a way to bring Brady here. And I found a way, and I can't do it.
I have a question for you then. You said that you were living. That sounds like working towards something in a way that was very hurtful to yourself. You found out that you could do it, but it was something that was so basically ruinous to something else that you couldn't.
And everybody was appropriately horrified, and I didn't do the thing. And now I am trying to keep myself busy. And somebody that I thought was and might still be my friend drags me away from that in the middle of the night to talk about Adistrea?
No. That's not fair. That is not why I brought you here. I couldn't sleep. I'm anxious about this. I don't know if you've been feeling it, but I've been feeling watched. I'm anxious about what this angel can do to us. What it will do to get what it wants, what it thinks is best. How many more creatures will it hurt? So that's. But I'm not here to scold you, Aspen. I just wanted to talk to my friend. And I'm sorry that I hurt you in my choice of acquaintance. But my apology is that I have hurt you. I will not abandon people that I've become close to. I think you sort of seen that. And Ray sort of like, I think like even like with his shirt up, I think you can see like a long thin scar that has developed over the weeks where one of Songbird's like thorns had like sort of scraped through him, you know, and he's just like, you don't have to like it. You don't ever have to forgive or forget or do anything except what heals you.
When Brady died, a lot of people were mad, and I was certainly one of them. I think that doesn't surprise anybody. And everybody kept saying that that's not what Brady would want. And then I got to be here, and I got to be angry. And then I met all of you, and all of you remind me of them in different ways, and I don't know how to not be angry about this, Ray, but I'm very tired of being angry about it.
We imagine that that's exhausting.
I'm only so big. It's hard to hold this much anger. Not a lot of space for it.
Yeah, there's also cleverness, fashion style, um, you know, smarminess in there too.
Flattery will
You,
get you everywhere.
I do think those things about you. You are incredible, even with your anger. Maybe even because of your anger a little bit. Like, I didn't think to like push so hard into summoning until I was angry at Sophrona, at everything that was happening, at feeling abandoned. And now I've pushed forward and everything, but the thing is, you know, I let go of it when I didn't need it anymore. And maybe it a lot of people I understand a lot of people need more practice in letting go. I've kind of always had to let go of things. So I think it comes easier to me. But I understand how hard it is to carry. If you don't even have anyone else from the Shadow here who knew Brady, you're the only one carrying Brady here. I understand why you'd be angry, why it feels so wrong.
Mare, I have a question.
Yes.
For my knowledge as a player, are my memories of Brady still accurate?
That's up to you.
Oh, man.
About to drop the most fucking devastating choice 2 minutes before break.
I know.
I don't make those decisions about Shadow.
I think that they probably are not. I think that because Aspen has been so obsessed with this task, it really warped Aspen's perspective on Brady and who they were genuinely. And then Aspen connected with everybody in this group and was like, oh shit, Brady used to act like this. And that's something that Brady would say. And so I think that it has been really hard to process that this is who Brady was. And Aspen would kind of sit back and smile and just say, well, I'm glad that Adastrea found you because I suspect you will be able to help her in letting go of things. But tell me about your date. I've talked enough about me, and it is putting on airs in a way that seems very protective. Is not trying to be fake, but just this is how I can get through the rest of this evening.
Yeah. I think when you say date, Ray looks like really confused. And it's just like, date?
Yes, my darling. It was a date. That is at least what everybody in the Marquis Quarter is saying.
I'm starting to think that everyone in the Marquis Quarter doesn't know anything.
You would be right about that in a lot
Yes.
of regards.
Yeah, like they don't. It wasn't a date, and like he starts like that slow gray crawl over his face, and he's just like, no, it wasn't a date. It was a celebration because I had honestly forgot that you could celebrate things because I've been so anxious about everything that has been happening. So she was like, so how are you gonna celebrate getting to the 3rd degree? And I was just like, everyone's busy. I don't know. I'm probably gonna go to the shelter and work about it. And then Astray was like, have you taken a rest? And, and I was like, well, does working count as a rest? And then we
Went on
she
a
was
date.
like,
Very smartly
wasn't
dressed. Very smartly dressed. It was the talk of everybody at the party.
well, she was gonna take me to a party, and then I was like, oh, I don't have fancy clothes. So then we went to go get fancy clothes, and I got a crown. It was really nice. It was based on Luna moths. And then we talked. and then I don't think it was a date. And at least if it was a date, I would want to try and actively do. Let's not talk about this.
I think Aspen is more than happy to let Ray flounder. And as many times as possible would just jump in. Well, this person said it was a date because of this. And
I think that's just how the night goes.
Yep.
Aspen making it obnoxiously obnoxious for Ray.
Yep. That is
Yeah.
what Aspen does best.
Just very, very befuddled and shy throughout the entire thing of like, but.
So you are given tea and little biscuits and for the rest of the evening. And we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we're going to reconvene everybody. We'll be back in 5 to 10, everybody. Be back soon. Bye. Hello, everybody. We are back from break, and we're gonna all reconvene. I don't know where y'all are reconvening. We are picking back up like the day after the 4 of you have left for Emerin. So this is after your 12 weeks have gone by, and you've done all your downtime. You technically can go back to your own fucking house now. But, yeah. Where do we reconvene?
I think, if nothing else, Lace will invite people over to look at her new... Because she, like, it's been killing her that she can't update her conspiracy board, like, in its proper place. So now she's finally been able to, like, craft.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think Aspen will head that way. Aspen is staying at William's for as long as they can because William is living life and Aspen really likes cake and cookies. So
They do make a very pointed hint, be like, didn't you leave? They do make a pointed comment, like,
can I bribe you for one more week? And I will actually pull out one of the items that I made, which is it is a glass music box, and it produces a visual illusion, and it is just one of the evenings that Aspen and William would have spent in the kitchen making tea and cookies and sitting and conversing.
you can stay one more week. You
Thank
don't
you,
need to
darling.
you don't need to bribe me. But
This is for you anyway.
it's not like listen, it's not that I don't enjoy you being here, but sometimes I would like some privacy.
I can be here all the time. Just let me know. I have to go. I'm stealing your music box. This one's for you. I'll see you when I get home. And Aspen is going to sprint out the door.
The worst. I love Aspen so much.
Yeah, see.
Probably the last to arrive at Lace's, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Lace has gotten everyone's favorite snacks. And has like set up a like viewing area for the conspiracy board. And you'll note there's now like a drawing, and because Lace can actually draw, unlike me, there is probably a really nice sketch of a sword. And like under it is like soul protection ? Essentially the note that you got. And like it's there's like a header for this section that is like things Angel wants, and then it's like sword. Then the other thing is, sorry, I'm going back to my list. Then there's like a sketch Oh, actually, there's a few pages of a comic book as well near the sword. And it's like location, mystery, question mark. Then there's a picture of a person who Mare will have to describe. And the name Dara Tweak is like pinned next to this person's portrait. And it says Ghostwriter, Brick House District. And then there's another portrait, and it's labeled Atticus Virent. Virent? And it says Admin, Emotion Mills Consortium. And then it says like big letters, Emotion Leaves, question mark. And this is what Lace has been able to sort of find out about these people. And this person lives in the Marquis Quarter and travels pretty often to the Fade. But these are the people who were on the list that the Angel had made.
Chiffron's gonna... hold on, I'm looking at chat. Do you need to pull a card first?
Oh, thank you. That's right,
For
I
Kian?
do. You're
For
the
Kian
best.
in the chat.
Okay, so the card I've pulled for the scene is the Forbidden Game. Value of 2, notions, cats, clocks, and winds. Meanings danger, intellect, strategy, and balance. The temptation to partake in the game is strong, but you know you shouldn't. It's dangerous. It's forbidden. It's far more than it seems. It may appear to be a simple diversion, a pastime, but it is so much deeper, so much more engrossing, and so much more addicting. Some have lost their very souls to its intricacies. It's not just that people want to win, although that's a part of it. It's the game's complexities that draw them in. Every move is a colossal undertaking. The game is more intricate than the real world that it simulates. That's the impossible thing. The game is bigger on the inside than the outside. It's bigger than the world in which it is played. Blue magic is enhanced and red is hindered. Ardents get a +1 to their ventures.
Hey. Go ahead, Soprano.
I'm just going off the board. It's relevant.
Of a conspiracy board.
Yeah, Sophrona, if you've laid out all of the stuff that Sophrona had given you when she had last looked at this list, she's gonna look at this thing and she's gonna be like, I actually know where Thara is. Thara Ospina. The item is Rendezvous with Thara. I used my spell that I used to like first observe Dremta way back, if you remember. Thara is the person that I saw who was talking to our aspen tree, the aspen tree, and
The tree.
the aspen tree, and who I had seen go to the silent church. That's Thara. It took a while to lock them down, which is a little concerning to me because I've also had trouble checking on Dremta. I saw Dremta like rendezvous. I don't know if there are more rendezvous, but we can. She's literally just. Thara works at. Hold on, let's check my notes. Thanaviv Hall? I don't know how to say this.
The hall, I'm going to say Thanaviv Hall is a theater in the Palindrome district.
Yes. They work there at the ticket counter. I don't know if you want to like go there and like scope it out.
I was about to say, are you going to harass them while they're at work? Like a Karen?
It's just going to suggest.
I mean, is that more or less creepy than going to their home?
It's true. She also works in River. Yes, River.
No, okay. I also thought it was River when I first read that district. It's actually, Rive River.
Rive River.
It does look like
They
River
did that
River though.
just to confuse
Yeah.
people.
I am very annoyed. It should be River.
Listen, it
should
could
be
have been
River.
River Avon. It could have been the Nile River. You know,
No,
Well, there's that place that's like the word hill in 4 different languages, and that's just the name of it. It's like hill.
could have been River Ivor. Anyway.
Okay, if you say River Ivor though, the locals will laugh at you. It says this in the canon.
Oh, it does?
It
Nice.
does.
Love this.
very
Love
good.
this for me. I'm
Wait,
gonna start
so-
saying it that way.
Farah lives in River
Yes.
River? Okay.
We're just never gonna get this right. It's canon now. None of us know how to say this.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry. I want to circle back to one thing.
Yes.
You said that you were having a hard time checking in on people. Has anybody felt like someone is not having a hard time checking in on us? I've been feeling
Yeah.
very paranoid and very watched.
I mean, statistically, I think it's fairly likely that we're being watched, right? Because wasn't one of the things keep an eye on the meddling Visley? I don't mean to like draw conclusions, but I feel like that we are the meddling Visley.
It's true. It's true.
That sounds about right.
We could also, since I think it's a good idea if we check out what Farah is up to. We could also go to the Silent Church because they are frequently there as a custodian, which might be a better option than like trying to break into her house or trying to visit them at work. I don't know.
You look so
I mean-
concerned, Ray.
Yeah, Ray is just like, so what do we think is gonna happen
I don't know.
if we, because like if she's in league with the devil, wouldn't, or the angel, sorry, that was kind of rude to devils.
Don't worry, they're assholes.
Yeah.
I'm sure
And so-
they've heard worse.
Oh,
It's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm concerned about approaching a potential ally to this person who has been fucking with our
Well-
lives.
Well,
You
I'm
know?
not suggesting we walk straight up to this person.
You're
I
suggesting
will-
we stalk this person.
Yes, that's what I'm suggesting.
You said that so casually.
I have so many spells that are perfect for stalking now, actually.
Actually,
offer.
Entire
yes.
repertoire.
Actually,
An offer. I am quite skilled at finding my way into parties that I should not be at.
It's true.
And I don't suspect a church would be much more difficult because I don't think that churches have security the way that parties do. And I happen to have something, and I hold up just like a little stone. This is one of my ephemera. I happen to have something that might help me with this. So if we can do some sleuthing, if somebody tries to hit me, you will have to come and save me. I'm just going to start owning that now. I am well prepared. Will show my cloak, dagger, sword, gun. But I am not confident in my abilities, I must be honest. So, just an option.
I wish you can all see Helia because she's just shaking her head.
I am prepared. This is out in front of everybody. I am prepared. I'm trying to be ready. Helia, do not give me that look.
I love this. Okay.
Did I get new ephemera? It's possible I just forgot to write it down.
No. If anyone needs me ephemera, at me right now. While you're talking, I'll pull.
Okay, I think at least one.
Okay.
I was just like, maybe I have something useful for this. It's not beyond the realm of possibility that I do, but
Yeah, I need y'all to at me if you need a remember, because I will not remember.
I mean, what is it that we want to learn? Because I think if we have clear goals, like I think the church is probably one of the more promising leads on like why they're doing this, right?
That's what I think.
The problem with the sword is no one knows if it exists or where it is, so I don't really see us being able to do anything about that. Tweak, this person seems to be just like a normal person. What do I know about emotion leaves, Mayor?
If you touch them, you are temporarily imbued with that emotion.
Okay.
Aspen will actually pull one out of their bag, holding a cloth. I grabbed one, completely unrelated to this.
So, yeah.
I really did.
So,
This is very good.
is it Atticus? Is that the name? Atticus? Atticus works where they create those. But I don't know that these people that this angel wants to interact with are necessarily like, they're important because they're people, but they're not necessarily like actively going to do something, you know? So I think finding out more about the angel through the church might be a more helpful short-term goal.
Okay.
That's my thought. I'm totally fine if other people have other thoughts.
Do I know where where emotion leaves are made? Like, is it like a facility or like somebody's
The
house?
consortium.
There is
I know this.
They are actually made in the Fade, I believe. I'm pretty sure
Oh.
it's the Fade.
I'm a lying liar.
The admin administration is in the Marquee Quarter.
Yeah, Atticus works in the admin.
But they frequently go to the Fade to check up on operations. Gilly, if you did need an ephemera, I added it to your chat.
Okay. I have 2.
You should have 3.
How many?
I gave you another one.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
For reference, Thara got hired at the hall after I saw them rendezvous with Dremta. I don't know what that means or if it's related, but that is another piece of information that I know.
So Dremta might have wanted Thara at the hall for some reason. Are there any, Mayor, would I know of any like particularly large shows or important guests or performers at the theater? Is this like a movie theater or live theater?
This is like live theater. Do you go to the Palindrome?
Are there parties there?
Not the ones you go to.
I was gonna say if I can't go be frivolous, probably not very often.
Yeah, there's also a lot of parties in several districts. Another example being the Quiet Lake district. Those are also shows there, which is actually a very expensive place to live in, and a lot of people in the Marquee Quarter own homes there. So out of the two, you'd probably be more familiar with Quiet Lake than the Palindrome. There are a lot of museums in the Palindrome, as well as other theaters and stuff like that. It's a very artsy district. So it really depends on if you do that. But I feel like, from what you've already told me, you mostly hang out in the Marquee.
I do. Could I possibly roll to see if I remember if anybody mentioned that, like, at a party that they were like, this big thing is happening?
You can roll, yeah. Roll me an intellect task, please.
Where's my intellect? I'll use a bene. How many sessions do we have? 2 more. I'll use a hidden knowledge too.
What's the knowledge?
My hidden knowledge is my sleuthing capabilities, I think. I am just so used to being a fly on the wall and gossip and being a nosy bitch, that is what I am comfortable with. So I'm going to use 2. I'm just going to use 1 intellect, Bene.
Okay.
So that is a 5 on the dice. 1
No-
intellect, Bene, 1 hidden knowledge.
Nothing specific comes to mind. Like,
Okay.
people do go to the palindrome when they do want to either go to a more casual show or to the museums that are there, but like nothing that pops out in general.
Okay.
Hmm.
Not sure why Dremta would want Thara at the theater, but could be an excuse to go see a show.
Yeah, maybe we don't actually need to bother Thora at work. We can just fuck around in the back rooms. I don't know. She's not very good at like logistical planning, so it's just like,
Do
what do
we
people
think
do?
that it might be beneficial to cover both at the same time and split up?
I feel like this is how you get whacked really fast. I feel like I'm sorry, Asmin, you just told us
Like
that
in
if somebody hits you, like this
Mobster?
is no, like physically, like the verb.
Oh,
Like this is how somebody hits you with a pole, and
Like,
that's it.
We're gonna play a game of whack bug. If anybody has seen that, the TikTok trend.
I feel like that's what's
No.
gonna happen to you if we, split the party.
I feel like we could cover more ground.
I think that staying together might be best. And if this is the person that we're going to look at, I do think a show would be fine.
We should not interact with them directly. That's what I think.
Okay, yeah.
Do any of us know, is the silent church risky? Like,
Yeah, it's like there's so many locations here.
it seems really creepy, but I don't know if that's Kian or Aspen picking up on that.
It's mostly Kian that's picking up on that. The way the books describe it is an imposing, cold, and somewhat lonely structure of glass and stone. This church rarely has many people in or around it. On the lintel above the door, an engraving reads, "She is gone, but her legacy remains." It is a temple to the legacy, or rather of the creator who left the legacy, and it's one of the few in the actuality. The forces of the legacy do not... This is all common knowledge. You don't need to roll any of this. The forces of the legacy do not seek worship. They value understanding. Thus, no prayers or hymns break the silence of the church here. And often there are angels seen standing outside the church, but they never enter. There is no clergy, but there are a couple caretakers.
Yes, which Thara is one.
Yeah.
There's so many locations here. They all seem like bad ideas, but also
Well, I'm kind of trying to work out what it is that we have the potential to learn. Because, like, what I really want to know is, like, I want to call this angel and be like, hey, why are you this way?
Get them on speed
But
dial?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're watching us anyway, then what does it matter? Like, in fact, I think Lace just looks up and goes, hey, why are you this way? And then, like, waits 5 seconds to see if anything happens.
Amazing.
Listen, you gotta try every avenue, you know?
No, Ray thinks you're right. Ray's like, well, Ray waits to see if anything happens.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Guess they've got their ears off.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Mhm. Then, yeah.
If we're not allowed to talk at this place, then asking questions to people will be difficult.
Helia, if she's willing, might be able to sneak around and see if there's anything going on.
I can look.
Has Helia ever met another creature here like her?
Not like she's
Oh,
met.
fuck.
She's met like Varel before you went to Emerin, she's met Drosera, but not like anyone she can interact with, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is like if there's another, because
She's an enigma, specifically beholden to Aspid because of the Forte.
Right. I was more thinking if there is like a way for Helia to discuss with creatures that would not get us kicked out of the Silent Church.
She can't really interact with anyone unless there's something in the Forte that I do not know about.
Not that I have seen. Has Helia specifically felt watched, or is that just me?
Helia has not felt watched, but she does kind of feel the same anxiety you do. Like, she knows that there's someone watching, but she doesn't think anyone's watching her.
Okay. Ooh, that was going to make me really scared.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe there's something behind scenes. If I can get to a open door, Helia can take a peek.
Sure.
I mean, again, I'm just kind of nervous about focusing on this person when potentially we could focus on other things. I mean, there's the person that they're literally trying to frame for a crime.
But yeah, which name? Wait, I gotta look at the list.
Sneak.
Who's being? Oh, that's right. That was not one of the people I looked up.
Ah, okay.
I had limit. I spent a lot of time researching, but I also felt really bad about messaging God 2 days before the game and being like, "Give me all the information from your list."
I got it to you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you reposted the list, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that."
Yeah, because I was like, I said I would get this. Because I was rewatching, and I was like, I said I would get Gena a list of what
totally
she
forgot.
saw. That's what happens when I just like bump around, like trying to catch up and rewatch things. I realize I
Do
fuck
we?
up and mess
Mhm.
things up.
Do we know anything about this person? I mean, not to like speak on behalf of Ray, but like if Ray is concerned about this person, we don't know anything.
Ray did not do anything of substance besides make bonds in the hollows.
What?
Ray didn't research shit. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Ray was doing art and being helpful and making friends and going on a pseudo date.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
thought
sorry.
you said like making bombs, and I was like, that is a whole. I was like,
Oh, I heard
Bonds.
bong.
no, we all heard
Bonds.
different things. That's what happened. Okay. The reason I feel, is it more advantageous for us to figure out what's
I don't think we know what is advantageous.
that is the problem?
Are there
I
any
could
other...
try to.
Sorry. I was just going to ask, are there any other questions I could ask? I mean, answer.
Wait, can we just run down? So there's the Binding Sword that's on the board. There's Atticus Virant. There's Tweet. There's Thara Espina. Was there any other like information that either of you guys got that I didn't write down?
The only 3 I got were the sword, Atticus, and Tweak.
Yes.
Those are the 3 that I got.
Okay.
I know about Thara, whom Drimta had rendezvoused with, and apparently had given. They'd talked for a bit when I had seen them,
Correct.
and then
Like, they seem to know each other. They were talking in a
Yes.
familiar manner.
yes,
If we want insight from a god, this is both Kian and Aspen speaking. I have something that might help because I made an item that allows me to divine the answer to a question
ooh,
that I can ask. I have to roll for it, and it might not be helpful, but I am happy to try if we think that that would be helpful. I just don't know what question to ask.
be helpful. We need to figure out. What is our
We could just go talk to. I mean, I think it would tell us a lot of information if we just tried to figure out what exactly is Vara's relationship with this angel. If they are excitedly helping this angel, if they have a deal. And knowing that might make us understand more of what exactly the angel wants to come to pass.
Yes, that's why I think it's best to figure out this thorough situation. It feels like we'll get more insight as to what is going on if we talk to. Because not everything on the list is necessarily related to each other.
Where
Yeah,
do we think... Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I think Ray is just like, all right, we do the creepy thing, and we wait for her to leave work, and then be like,
Oh my god.
hi, how do you know Drimta?
They escalated. Oh yeah, I thought this was going like we sneak into the church. That's what I thought that sentence was going.
I think that, like, since Aspen said the thing about not knowing that they're related, I think Lace has looked kind of thoughtful, and she just kind of looks up and says, I think they're... This may be a weird, like, Weaver thing, but I think they're not related, and it's intentional, right? The way that magic works, random events can converge, right? The weave of magic is complicated. So I personally agree with you. I don't feel the need to find the links between these things because I don't think that magic needs these things to be linked.
Yeah.
I think that if this angel is trying to pursue these specific things, it is to push the pieces of the puzzle into order, but the events themselves probably aren't connected.
Yeah, I think if this creature thinks that the legacy is real, and it is pushing these pieces into place because it thinks it will make sure that the spell goes off, and it doesn't, then I think we just need to figure out what is its big piece, more than how the pieces work. Maybe if we talk to Vera, we'll be able to understand something more. I was like, hi, you're friends with this thing? Let's talk.
Let's do it.
There are multiple locations in which to do this, however.
Do you think it's best at the church or at the playhouse?
The church.
I don't think we should bother them at work.
Theater.
I think
we should not bother them at work.
Hey y'all,
That
don't
is
bother
above the
people
table.
at work.
Yeah, don't bother. Above table.
So actually, a real question for you, Gina. How many
Yes.
times did Sophrona try and spy on Thara? Because that might give you more locations to be creepy.
I'm gonna say it's true. Above table. Like, I know she's being creepy. I'm just telling you. That's how she is. She's very sheltered. Above table, I know. Don't be creepy to people at work, guys. She would have done this fairly often. I know the spell working, actually, it would be great if we did the church. She's a spell for a location-based spell. She would have done this a lot, like as often as possible, but also...
All right. In that case, you would have more locations. She has more haunts than what I gave you. There are a couple of like restaurants and stuff, or like cafes in the palindrome that she would also go to, like before or after work. After a show, everyone goes out to like the diner, like in theater.
Yeah,
that type of vibe. So there's more than one place, but she's also, gotten coffee before work, so on and so forth. So there's public places that she has been.
I say we find out when a show is happening and find one of those coffee shops that she might go to before or after. I have no idea what we're going to say to her when we accost her, but I think that's how we'll find her. That's all I've got. I am happy to do the talking if you all would trust me with that.
I think you or I would be the best place. Would be the best person to talk.
First of all, rude. That was not Lace. That was me.
That's
But I think Lace says, actually, I have a spell that might help when we get there.
okay. Like, I truly just think we should be like, "What's up? Fuck Dremta." Like, and Ray says "fuck" like very emphatically because I think
Well-
he really hates Dremta.
Right, but this person might not.
Yeah.
But it will get a reaction if we say that. This
But
person will
first-
respond.
It might not. If you say fuck Dremta, it might not, because remember, Dremta's the true name, and entities don't normally tell people their true names.
That's true.
Oh, that's
I forgot
true.
about
So
that.
they-
Yeah.
Why don't
I'm
wait?
just saying this because Ray would know this. Ray, as a Goetic, is most familiar with like true names because that's a big part
Yeah.
of study of Goetics. So yeah, if you say Dremta, they might not actually know them as Dremta.
Why don't
think
we
Rick-
just summon the angel?
Just
You have the angel's name. Isn't that what you
You
need?
still
This is
might-
Aspen.
You might
I
not be
feel like
able
no
to, Ray.
shit
You're not
about it.
strong enough. You might not be able to summon it.
I don't think I'm just a third order Goetic.
You have friends that are
Maybe
higher
someone
level.
that you don't like might be able to summon them, but I don't think it's a good idea.
Maybe that's an excellent date plan, Ray.
Y'all,
And
I have
maybe,
a really...
but I would ask about the date. You know, like it wouldn't just be a thing that people call a date because that's not what dates are.
let me
I
focus,
feel
focus,
like
guys,
we're getting off
focus,
track.
I am
focus.
going to go and wait outside of this person's home unless somebody stops. me.
Yes. Aspen, I have a thing that might make them more feel more positively about us when we meet them. So, I have yes, I will come with you.
Sabrina, do you give them her address?
Do I? I don't even know if I know the exact address.
You might not know the exact address, but you know what it looks like in Rye River.
It's true. She's like feel like she set this all off, and now it's like, oh god, this all of a
It's
sudden
fine.
becomes a bad idea.
Sabrina didn't
We
do
just-
anything wrong.
We're in analysis paralysis. We need to just start making moves.
I mean, I guess.
Making deals,
I
and
guess.
what?
This is the worst combination because Aspen and Lace are both so impatient. So
Yep.
this is just like
What level creature can a 5th level Goetic summon?
I think it's up to 6th level. Oh, 5th level. Oh yeah, I don't know. I think it's 8.
It's like 8 or 9, I think, for a 5th degree. Summoning 5th degree.
what level is an angel?
There's a lot of angels, a lot of different levels. We can summon beings up to level 8 for 5th degree.
Did she do it?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, come on. Oh,
I'm totally not telling you because I didn't create a level yet for Dremta or anything.
Yes, we gotta
Um,
go.
let's Lace says we can make her feel more favorable and be like, "Hi, you've been talking to an angel. It's been ruining our lives."
We
Can you
don't.
tell
We
us
don't
more
need to be
about
that.
this?
We don't need to be that forward.
And for the record, if you come across her Ray, you could also do that. Because I gave you the brooch. That allows you to change a where did it go? Change a
Person's
creature's
emotions,
emotional state.
Oh,
Yes, but mine is non-magical, so I feel like it's probably or well, I guess it is magical, but it's
It's not yours is
complicated.
not guaranteed. Neither of yours are guaranteed.
well,
My only thought of pointing it out is that if Ray and Sophrona would like to go to a cafe and we can go wait outside this person's house, Lace, and then we have 2 people that could whoever interacts with this person first. Look, I'm trying to split the party, y'all, because I think it is the most efficient thing.
Is it because you don't wait, how are you proposing we split the party?
Aspen and Lace, and then Sophrona and Ray.
Is it because you
Wait,
don't
the same
want
person?
to is it because you don't want to see Ray?
Absolutely. Aspen is like, I don't want to, because Ray makes the most sense because Ray is the most protective of Aspen, and Aspen is squishy. But Aspen does not want to go with Ray right now. Aspen is still pretty salty. I know how to hold a grudge.
I don't know.
that's so funny.
Savannah's probably like, I don't know if splitting the party to try and accost the same person in 2 locations is necessarily.
Then where shall we go? Shall we go to the workplace or to this person's home?
If I may, like make a suggestion.
Yeah.
You can spy on her again and see where she is right now.
Yeah, I don't have that prepped.
Amazing.
I could
It's
try
fine.
to divine the answer.
Yeah.
Would we
I've
like
been
to try
actually kind of
that?
waiting for that.
I mean,
will-
whatever you want to do.
if we want to try to find her right in this moment, that's what I got.
Yeah, that's the good thing to do.
I will pull out a glass pencil that has leaves and petals floating within it and pretend to write on a piece of paper. And I would like to divine the answer to a question and ask where Zara Espina is right in this moment.
What level is your item again?
This is level 6.
Level 6. Let me see.
And this is the one that has the minor side effect, Mayor.
Yeah, I know. So first things first, as Aspen writes on a piece of paper and uses the item that they made, their skin turns a lime green for like a solid 6 seconds before it fades back to its natural skin tone.
Aspen
That looked nice.
shrieks. Aspen just screams. Tries to rein themselves in. It's atrocious. It clashes with everything they're wearing.
It's nice.
No, it's not. It's like this neon lime green.
It's a color. I didn't expect that, but hopefully it doesn't mess with the item.
It does not. The way this item works is you do need to write on a piece of paper, but when you ask the question, it writes the answer.
Ooh, that's fun.
So as
Okay.
you write, you see written on the page, like you write your question, right?
Mhm.
Let's say you have to write your question. The letters rearranged to give you an answer.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
And the answer you get is they are on the way to the Silent Church.
Oh, good.
Convenient.
I should go there. We like took a long time to go all the way back.
Shall we away?
With haste.
Okay.
As we are headed over, Aspen will pull out 3 glass coins with sunflowers on them.
Roll for depletion for your pen.
I did.
Okay.
I rolled a 3. Thank God. Barely saved it. But we'll pull out 3 glass coins with sunflowers on them, hand 1 to each person. These will give you a +1 on a significant action 1 time, including adding a bene to a stat pool. 0 to 4 depletion. I will drop that in the group chat so everybody can see it. But everybody now has one of those, and you just have to
I'm
roll for
sorry.
depletion.
I have a bene in what? 2 now?
No, it's okay. It's a +1 on a significant action, or you can add a bene to a stat pool,
Oh, okay, cool.
and you just roll for depletion.
I'll add more to my sorcery, and my physicality will remain at 1. Okay, when we get close to the church, I am going to cast my new spell. One of them.
Let me read my card
ex-
first. Hold on. On the Pale Sun, I've pulled. Hold on, I have to pull I have to play another card, but I did pull the Assassin, by the way.
Oh.
That seems bad.
So in the next case, I have to, since it's the Adept card, I've got to pull another card, and in that case, on the Red Sun, I've pulled the Imprisoning Ice, value of 4, notions, cats, clocks, and wind, entrapment, imprisonment, danger, and conflict. The very environment holds you fast when you are trapped in the ice. You cannot move, and the cold threatens your life. You can't persuade the ice or trick it. You can't fight it or best it in a contest. The ice is impersonal, unrelenting, and vastly powerful, even though it's nothing more than frozen water. Unless, of course, it's more than that. Perhaps there is intelligence there. Perhaps it's not just frozen water, but a living spirit of cold, of stillness, of imprisonment. In such case, the actions of the ice might be entirely personal. You may have brought your terrible fate down upon your own head. I love these back-to-back cards. Anyway, this is a red magic is enhanced, blue is hindered, and since it's on the red sun, if you cast a red spell, it either costs 2 less, or the level is 2 higher. And vice versa for blue. Vice versa for blue spells.
I don't have red.
Does either cost 2 more or the level is 2 lower?
Yes.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. It's rare that this happens. So you head to the district. Lace, you said you were going to cast a spell when you start getting close.
Actually, I'm going to cast 2 spells. So first, I'm going to cast Anamnesis, which is level 2, and I recall something that I could never have known. I choose the general subject, but not the specific bit of information. This is a blue spell, so it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Oof.
So it'll cost like 2 more sorcery to cast.
It's okay. I have all the sorcery now. It's fine.
All right.
Everything is fine.
What is it?
I would like to learn. Oh God, there's so many things.
What is the general subject? You have to give me the general subject.
I guess the general subject. Should I do the church specifically, or should I do angels? What do we think? Like,
I feel like it should either be Dremta or the church. Personally,
can I do Dremta? Is that too specific?
It says choose the general subject.
Okay. So you're right with angels?
Angels. Or, actually, could I do, like, maintaining the legacy as a subject?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Because I think we could get something valuable from that.
All right, I'm going to pull a card for this because this is way too...
I love new spells.
Hidden Moon, Secrets, Ravens, Books, and Flame, New Beginnings, Insight, Intuition, Foresight, Looking Ahead, and Potential Danger.
I am killing it on the research card pulls.
I don't know fucking how. Basically, you are. It's about maintaining the legacy. You get like a flash of a vision of Dremta holding a sword.
Ooh. Is it the sword? Is it the sword? The sword of swords?
It's hard to tell.
I want its ID number. What is its VIN?
It's a level 2 spell. Hold your horses.
Okay. Well, Dremta may or may not have a sword. Okay, now I will cast Exiguous Appeasement, which is maybe my favorite new spell.
You gotta do that with the person nearby.
I'm nearby. I said I was waiting to
engaging. Engaging.
Okay, then the second that we see the person and we are like, hey, I'm gonna cast the spell.
Okay. The 4 of you take the rail from Fartown to the Palindrome, which, if any of you have ever been here before, when you get to the halfway point, you start experiencing the district in the reverse order that you walked in. Mm-hmm. So literally a palindrome.
Cool.
The palindrome is, the Silent Church is located on the other side of the district from the train station. So there is a walk. And when you get there, it is a very quiet church. Or the equivalent of a church, anyway. It is a large cathedral of glass and stone. Some of it is colored glass with just, if the sun were shining through, would make these very beautiful colors on the floor. You don't see anyone standing out front, but it's pretty quiet. It's not really used. It's not actually used as a church. So.
I just kind of like, could I just like push the door? Do I know if the door is open?
It is a public place.
Okay, I'll just walk.
Yeah, no, it is a public
confidently
place.
to it. Okay.
When you walk in, inside is very large, just like a very open air cathedral. But there are no pews. There are like stone pedestals that don't have anything on them. And there's only one person in here. And they just seem to be dusting and cleaning. Sifrona, you recognize this individual as Thara, who has these like wave-like it's hard to tell if it's tattoos or just like a design on her skin that move. And when you enter, they just kind of like look up briefly, take note of your presence, and like continue with their cleaning duties. Okay, Lace, what shows? I already know this spell. You don't need to tell me what it is because I know this spell very well.
It's so fun though.
It's so fun. What appears in your hand is a small glass bead with that is blue. It has a little heart on it. It's cute.
Mayor, on the way, I'm going to cast my Sign Against the Legacy.
Okay, you may.
Thank you.
Trying to surreptitiously gesture like.
You do go. Push, push. Who's going?
If Ray is going, Lace will just like point to the bead and then be like point and be.
It's because it's like so quiet and bit cavernous in here. It's
Oh,
like
it
suddenly, like,
will echo.
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
He takes it. He takes the bead from you because he thinks it's what you want. And Ray starts walking over, and his steps. He's a heavy man.
Echoes. With
It's just like.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Hello.
This femme individual like is like dusting off one of the empty pedestals, and as you approach with your loud thump 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 on the ground, she looks up at you and then like turns her head like around your body, looks at everyone else. How far away are y'all? The rest of you?
Like maybe 20 feet.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I am in the back because I would like to whispered insight to Helia, and if there is any back room around, I would like to ask her to go through it.
Okay. That takes like a split second, right?
Yes.
She just do this super quick. She does come back. She said there's like a couple back rooms, nothing like important. There's a closet with cleaning supplies. There's like a couple like small rooms, but like nothing really important. Looks like an office, nothing really in there. It's kind of like empty.
Okay. Thank you.
But yes, right. She like looks past you, looks at everyone else, and then it's just like, "Hi, may I help you?"
Yeah, I actually have a couple questions.
Sure. I don't know how well I'd be able to answer them. I'm just kind of keeping everything clean here.
They're actually not about the church.
Okay.
Ray sort of holds out the bead, and it's just like,
Oh, it's my favorite color.
I'm glad. I was wondering if I could take a moment of your time to ask you about an angel you might have been talking to.
Sure. Angels do sometimes like to hang out here, but sure.
Okay. And of course you can have this lovely bead as
They take it, like finger it, and then they have like a small they look at it, smile a little bit, and then put it in their pocket.
It's the best spell, y'all.
It's so sweet. I love it.
Ray smiles. He's like, well, it's an angel in particular, and he starts to describe what Dremta looks like.
As you describe what Dremta looks like, recognition does come across Thara's face. Oh, yeah, that's an acquaintance of mine. They usually just call themselves, at least to me, emissary.
Okay. Yes. they've been sort of messing with plants around the city.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you might know what their intentions were.
We just talk sometimes. They really just tend to, like several of the angels, stand out in front of the church looking very solemn. They're not as solemn as some of the other angels here that openly weep, but they do pay their respects around here. We talk every once in a while. Once we did go out for coffee, but they didn't really drink any. They kind of has said they were looking to maybe get into botany and or gardening. But I didn't really think of anything of it. Everyone needs their hobbies.
Have you been to the Topiary district recently?
No, but I've heard what's been going on. It's overrun. You're not saying that's them, do you?
Yes.
Please let me hold my suspicion. I don't know how well you know them, but they're really not that type of person. Not saying that you're lying, but it's just a hard pill for me to swallow.
No, I understand. This is someone you've talked to often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know any way where anyone else who might know them, maybe we can have somebody who can clear them up, who can help clear them of this suspicion that we don't have to worry about this?
I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head. I'm sure there are angels that know them better than I do. I'm sure any of the ones that stop by are more than capable of answering questions.
Okay. And Ray sort of looks back, because I'm sure this whole conversation has been echoing to everyone.
Absolutely.
And it's just looks back and just sort of I guess that's it.
Does anything look out of place, or does anything look like it's does anything look unusual or out of place at all in the space?
Roll me a perception check. What's the card that's open? It's the Hidden Moon right now. Hidden Moon is a gallant, so okay, no, you don't have that. You will have if you do see anything, it's gonna be a little harder for you from where you're at. So you're gonna have a -1.
I gotta figure out if I got any perception Benny to spend.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you have at least one.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm gonna spend 1 Benny. Actually, I don't want to use this day. I don't trust that one. I should have used the other one. That is a 3 on the die.
You do not.
Rip. Yeah, okay, I gotta think about something else. If anybody wants to do anything.
Oh, I do have one last. Do I get the sense? I guess Ray wants to get the sense if they seem actually surprised, or if they're acting.
Roll me an insight check.
Insight.
Do you mean interaction?
Interaction, sorry.
I was about to say,
It is. They both begin with I. Okay.
That's true. No, you're right, and
both
it's
make sense.
gonna do it. I have a bunch of interaction points, so I will use 3 bene on that. Because I think Ray's looking for deception. I think, even though that's kind of mean.
No, that's fair.
5, 8.
She seems, at least what she's saying, she believes she's telling the truth. Whether she believes she's telling everything but the truth, a whole truth and nothing but the truth. She is not being intentionally deceptive. If she is.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's really useful information, actually.
Do Do we feel like we're being watched in that way that we've felt the whole time?
No.
Can I
Huh.
do one thing? I imagine we're still like semi toward the back, right?
Yeah.
Can I move so that the entire space is centered in my vision? And can I cast my new spell that I made that is not named yet?
Yeah, you need to name that.
Yeah, I need to name it. In universe, she still has not. She just finished it. She hasn't named it yet. But I want to cast that spell. It will, for everybody else, it is a spell that will allow me to see a single memory of the location that I'm currently standing in. It is from the perspective that I am physically standing in when I cast it. So so it'll be from like where the back would be centered. For everybody else, the memories of this is what I wrote. The memories of a significant event that left a strong impression on this location, though that might be relative to the location's concerns rather than those of people or individuals within the space.
That's a maybe, though, right?
Yes, that is a maybe.
Okay, that's fair.
Um,
Okay, you cast your spell.
Yes.
And does this look like anything before I go into describing what you see?
I feel like she hasn't like really developed the physicality for this yet because it's like such a new spell. So I think she will just try to I think she will try to like draw it out of the air. I think it's sort of like she's going to, I don't know exactly what this looks like physically, but it's like she's trying to like condense something out of the air. That is the feeling that she's like trying to do.
Okay, so I would like to just give a content warning for the audience and my players for body horror. So what you see, Sifrona, in your vision is from exactly where you're standing, kind of roughly in the middle of this silent church, is you see Thara and you see Drepta. And do you get audio?
I'm not sure, actually.
Would you have programmed it for audio?
I think I would have, but like in the same limited way that the other that Visions of the Nemesis do.
Okay.
I would think.
So you don't, even if you do hear audio, you see Drepta and you see Thara standing in the middle of the silent church and they're talking to each other. It doesn't seem to be anything super like important. They just kind of seem like they're shooting the shit. But partway through this conversation, you see Drepta gently place a hand on Thara's cheek. And what happens is they're made out of this like porcelain or white ceramic, right? And their arm bursts into 1,000 ceramic birds and begin entering Thara, melding into her skin and her flesh. And she looks confused. She looks in pain for a second before looking very confused. And like from your perspective, you can see their mouth and they're just like, what happened? You get the impression just based off body language that nothing. Don't worry about it. And then like the rest of the vision just kind of like, plays out. They talk a little more and then Drepta leaves while Thara just finishes cleaning. Not really sure when this happened. As you're having this vision, Ray, in front of you, the reverse happens.
Ooh.
Bursting from Thara's skin, turning half of her body into hundreds of ceramic white birds. A flock appears, and she is like, there's blood. There's a little bit of blood. More than a little bit. But she, in shock, stares at her side before the birds swarm. And echoing throughout the entire church, you hear the sound of a click of a lock.
Oh. Be in trouble, fam.
So, roll initiative, please.
Oh,
Mare, that was so fucking cool.
I feel that things have escalated.
Just a little
for
bit.
reference. For reference, 'cause I didn't write this. I feel like my spell, like Vision of Nemesis, lasts for 1 minute. So, like, that's the length of whatever vision I'm having.
Sure.
And if that factors into this, I'm just letting you know.
Nope.
I also rolled a 2.
Okay.
Baby.
Ooh, I rolled an 8.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can only find, for some reason, D8s. Every time I look for a D8, I can't find one, and now every die I'm pulling out of here is a D8. Okay.
Also, if
I
everyone
don't
can
add
check
a
the
thing.
chat and just double check, answer my question, that would be appreciated.
Oh, yes.
I rolled a 3.
Lace is a 3.
Love that we're using a dog emoji to say yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I needed, like, words. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I wrote it out.
It was the first one it offered me, and I didn't want to look for the thumbs up, so I was just like,
okay.
dog.
Okay. That's fair. Okay.
I
These birds swarm, and this poor woman doesn't know what to do as her body is being used for something she was not expecting.
Oh.
Aspen, you are before something. The thing I'm going to call just birds.
Just birds, TM.
Just birds, TM.
Okay. I have a few questions. One, do the birds are we addressing them as like entire?
Yes.
Like one
It's
entity?
It's one entity.
Okay. And are entities considered objects?
No.
Damn it. Okay. Man, that would have been so fucking cool, Mare. What the hell?
Also very OP for whatever you're trying to do.
What does that mean?
If you're trying to create if something can affect an object and you want it to affect an entity at the same level it would affect an object, that'd be very OP.
Oh, got you. Look, I'm just trying to be creative. Okay. I would like to. I'm gonna pull out my gun and I'm gonna pull out my sword.
Ray is right in front of this woman, but that's okay. Are you doing anything?
Yeah, I would like to try and move to attack if I can.
You can attack with the gun, but not the sword. It is a big swarm, so you can try and hit.
Is that including my death in each hand secret that I took?
You can use that if you would like.
I would like to.
Well, if you're doing it range, you won't be able to do it because
okay.
Either 2 ranged or 2 melee.
Cool. No worries. Is this an accuracy roll?
Yes.
I'm gonna use 3 bene out of it.
All right. And what is the level of your gun?
Level 4.
Okay, that is added to
And
the adventure.
I rolled an 8 on the dice.
And how much damage does it do?
It does. Oh fuck! I wrote it down. Fuck, where'd it go? 4 damage.
That's total?
Yes.
Okay. You are able to shatter some of these birds, but there's a lot.
Okay. That's my turn.
Lace. A flock of these birds suddenly, like a spear, shoot at you. Please make me a dodge
Great.
defense roll.
I get a +1 because I'm really good at that. That's a 9 + 1.
You are able to dodge this, but it would have fucking hurt.
Come at me, bros.
The rest of the folks can go in any order they would like.
Me included.
You included.
I would like to actually start us off.
Perfect.
The woman in front of us is probably terrified. Ray wants to create a protective circle around her, and hopefully maybe that'll stem the flow of whatever's happening to her body.
So a protective circle to create one is 10 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Goetic powers are a little slow.
Yes, they are. Along with makers, they require pre-planning.
Gotcha. So I think then what Ray's going to do is create a defender for her.
Okay. She's
And
not in
himself.
any danger. They
Okay,
are not attacking
Then you know what?
her.
They're not attacking
her.
So they're attacking us, but not her.
She was just a vessel for their appearance.
That's so awful. I'm gonna
is terrible.
beat the shit out of this. I'm gonna beat the shit out of this goddamn angel so hard it's gonna wish that the legacy was real. I think Ray. I think Ray just sort of like. What it looks like is like his shirt is coming to tatters because something sharp peeks out of his back, and I am spending all of my sorcery points and two physicality to create an attacker.
Do it up.
And it's like a shark swims out of Ray's body. And like sort of like almost roars into life outside of him, and he like shrinks. He looks like a lot smaller, like his clothes like sort of like almost like his shirt definitely just sort of like falls off into tatters, and like the only thing holding up his pants is his is very loose things right now. But this beast is it's like a flying shark. It has like 4 fins that it's using to thing, and it roars into life behind him.
Okay, so your attacker is a level 5 creature that moves quickly and has 3 armor. I will tell you right now that this creature is level 6. Its base level is 6, so it won't be able to do any damage. But since I don't want you to just not have an attacker with no benefit, if you maneuver it in a certain way, kind of like similar like to the help action in D&D, if you want to assist other folks in a way to like distract it or something along those lines to make better odds of like one of your allies to hit it, you are more than welcome to. Or use it. And you may also use it as like a defender as well.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Sounds good. Yeah, that sounds very fair.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the only thing after he has that is like he's starting to hold his sledgehammer.
All right. Lace.
I have an idea. So Lace is inspired by Sophrona's mist idea, and over the course of the 12 weeks of downtime, added another aggregate to her list.
The repertoire.
Exactly. So she is going to use winter to she's going to use the ice quality, and I'm going to create like a wind of ice that I want to try and freeze the birds.
Okay, so I would say this is a level 3 effect of slowing or hindering a creature's movement.
Yes. So I will use winter. I will use freedom for destruction, because I also, if like I feel like freezing something is potentially causing damage. And I will use I think like sky. Can I use sky in terms of like whipping like the wind? Or is that weird?
It'd be cutting it close.
Okay, well, that's what I want to do. That's
Okay.
my intent, is to
That's fine.
freeze it. That's my plan.
All right, so I need you to roll, please. You only need to get you're going to roll 2 dice. You only need to get 1 success. But even though the base level is 6, it has a +4 to all defenses, so you need to roll pretty high.
Okay.
You need to get at least
I
a
rolled-
7 on one of the die.
I rolled a 10.
That's a 0. Was that on the regular or the magic?
Probably the regular, because I rolled it first. And
Okay.
generally,
Okay.
and then I rolled an 8 on the.
Yes, so tell me what it looks like as they are slowed down.
I I think it all of a sudden from like the corner of the room or the church, there is like just a wind whips up and you see ice crystals forming in the air. And it's almost like not a tornado, because I think a tornado is longer. It's more contained than a tornado. It's like a sphere of ice that comes, and as it gets closer, it whips more and more and more, and you see more ice crystals forming within it. And eventually it kind of overwhelms the birds, and they start to form crystals on their wings, and you can see that their movement is more difficult.
All right, you are able to slow. It'll be easier to hit later. Sifrona.
I would like to cast my other new spell. Well, first of all, I did forget my unnamed spell. It's very expensive, so I'm not spending any sorcery points on that to remember it. I will cast my other spell, Witch Sight, and I want to think of the location as we were coming up to the church, like from the street where we could see the front door. I would like to think of that location because I was standing there 10 minutes ago. I want to cast this, and I want to see if I see anybody near the door or anybody who seems to be leaving the scene.
Oh my god, you're making me roll a card for this. Pull a card for this. Okay, let me see. I have pulled the Questing Knight for this on the Invisible Sun. The Questing Knight is... Where the fuck is it? Value 5, Vision, Swan's Blade and Water, Justice, Journey, Determination, and Achieving Goals. You do see a familiar angel leaving the scene.
Ugh. Can't believe this. It's good to know, though. That is
they're not actually, they're not leaving.
They're not leaving.
They are a ways away. They're like on a hill, but they're watching.
Ooh. Okay. That is my turn.
Ray, besides attacking, is there anything you are asking your little buddy to do?
No, you know what? If it can't attack the creatures, and thinking about Ray, right? He's mad, but he doesn't want this to continue. Instead of attacking the creatures, I think he's gonna order it to try and ram the door.
Okay.
Like slam into the door and get them out.
What the hell level is a frickin' door?
All TTRPGs ultimately come down to the question of, can you open the door?
Can you break down the door? This is a level 5 creature. This is
gazebo.
These are probably really like home furnishing and needs. Okay, of course it doesn't give me fucking levels. It's fine.
So sorry.
No, it's okay.
Like thick-ass doors.
I'm going to say it is a thick-ass door, and it can do it, but it won't be able to do it right away. It's going to take a couple rounds.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they're like heavy wooden double doors.
Yeah, then I think that's Ray is ordering it to attack, and I think he's going to take a swing with his fucking sledgehammer.
It's not the top of the round yet, so we'll come back
right.
to you. It just, your creature didn't take a turn yet, so I wanted to ask.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Okay. Top of the round means I pull a new card, meaning that's the Unknoble Truth. Gallants get a +1 to their ventures. Indigo is enhanced. Gray is hindered. So, Aspen, it's back up to you.
I would like to get to a place where I can be in melee with this thing.
You were 20 feet away. Invisible Sun, you only are allowed to do one action, so in order to get in range is your action.
Okay, that's fine. That's what I'll do.
You are within range.
Okay.
So, once again, these ice-covered birds swarm. And once again, go for you, Lace. So you need to make another roll, please.
I still have my +1, right?
You still have a +1 for your skill. You can add any movement bede to enhance the venture.
Gonna do that
How
for
many?
reasons. Let's see how many I have.
I have no
Also,
clue.
how many sorcery did it cost me
For
to
the
do
spell?
the thing?
3.
The weavy thing. Okay, that's fine. And I assume it cost me 1 earlier to do the
yes, exiguous
the
appeasement.
thing.
That is correct.
Okay, so that's fine. I'm gonna go over this with you to make later to make sure my totals are good because I tried to add them for my level ups, but I'll do that with you later.
Yeah, we can do that later.
I have 2 movement bene, so I'm gonna go ahead and use them
Okay.
to try and dodge.
Your venture is a +3.
That's good because I rolled a 2, and do I have the +1 still from being dodgy? Because
No.
Oh.
All right. How many
Well.
physicality bene do you have?
1.
Okay. So what you feel, along with the very sharp porcelain, now coated with her blood and yours, as you are skewered. You take 8 points of damage.
Uh-oh.
And so that'll be 2 wounds and 2 injuries, unless you spend a physicality bene, which will bring it down to 1 wound and 2 injuries.
1 wound, hang on, 1 wound. I'll do it. So I have 1 wound and 2 injuries.
2 injuries.
Okay.
This was a very heavy hit. Really
It
bad.
hurt.
All of
It
you
hurt a lot.
see, if you, even you, Ray, if you look back at Lace and you see this happening, she really got skewered.
And the ice, it just makes it drippy. It's very unpleasant.
Ugh.
Lace is covered in blood.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, back to everyone else for Ray, Lace, and Safroda.
Is it like in me? In like, am I still skewered, or did it?
No, they did not stick around in your body.
At this point. Oh wait. Unless you have anything really great to do right now.
I think Ray is going to yell if anyone can see the controller. Like he's thinking that something had to activate this. So he's thinking if they can. That's what he's shouting out, and it can is talking a free action in this.
As long as it's within the general vagueness of a round, yes.
Yeah, that's what he yells out before he takes any more action.
And what were you saying exactly?
I think he says there has to be a controller nearby. Does anyone see anything?
Shorter does not know what that means.
I think Lace has no knowledge, but she has an idea of what she wants to do now. So
Okay,
I'm
that's fair.
happy to wait for Ray to go if Ray has a thing.
I mean, Ray does. Ray is going to run over
Look.
to Lace
Yeah.
to try and help protect Lace.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all he can do, I think.
I think that Lace looks at Ray and is like, I have an idea. Because I got to keep another practiced weave because I became better at weaving. So remember when I created like a star net to kind of grab
Yes, you
Ray
recall
and
this.
Aspen? I am going to do that again. Now it costs less bene because I'm good at it. And I'm going to try and catch me some birds.
What's the length on the aggregates that you use to slow the movement?
Oh, I so very much do not remember. I used infinity because I used...
Each aggregate has a specific type of length that it lasts.
Yeah.
So I need to know which one that is, because your slowing down spell will not last forever.
I used moonlight, which is touch, and I used infinity, which is far.
Nope, that's the range.
I mean, the time, the duration.
Oh, duration. They're short, and then moonlight is 1 round.
Okay, so it'll go
Infinity
based off,
is short.
It'll go based off the higher one.
Okay.
So it'll be a couple rounds.
Okay. I'm gonna try and give us a little time to like maybe get out of here potentially, or murder birds, whatever. So I'm gonna call upon the Starnet and try and scoop them up,
Okay.
scoop the birds.
Do you remember what level that was last time? I think it was like
do not.
I think it was like move up to like 125 pounds or something like, or no.
Yeah.
It was move up to 625 pounds because it was
Oh
Ray.
yeah, because it was Ray and Aspen. Yeah.
I guess.
So that'll be 5.
My heavy boy.
That'll be base 5 sorcery, so it'll cost a little less. So it'll be 2. It'll be down 1.
Okay.
So 4 sorcery.
I'll spend that.
So you need to roll.
I rolled an 8
Roll another die for your
and a
magic.
4.
Okay, you are fine. These birds get caught up in a net and are continued to be slow, but there's a lot of them, so you're not able to get all of them. But it will be easier, 1, to hit them as a whole, and easier to dodge as a whole.
So I think it's just Lace's net. Ray is now next to Lace, and she just like reaches out her hand and like makes a scooping gesture, and they're all like in a star net.
Great.
Sifrona.
Well, this is really dire to her, from her perspective. How close am I to the door again?
15 feet, we'll say.
15? I would be able to get there now.
Yeah, you can get there.
I will walk up to the door. I will sprint at the door, and I will take out my wicked key, and I will just slam it in the lock.
Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. And I think, is anything specifically happens, or does it just literally unlock the door? Or do you want it to do anything
I think it's
specific?
just literally on the. I don't even think she like aims properly. This might be going into the doorknob for all she knows.
It can go wherever the fuck you
Yeah,
want.
she's just aiming. She did not check for like a lock or anything, because why would she need to do that? She's
It's a
just
wicked
going
key.
to like, yeah, she will just slam it in the general vicinity of where she would imagine a lock would be, and just, I think, the momentum, it just flies open. That's it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a door. It's just the door.
The
So
door's
it's-
open.
Fantastic. I think the attacker sort of doesn't know what to do now the door is open, and I think he just sort of stares at Sifrona like, "What do I do?"
I can't tell what to do. Have a mind of your own. It's
Okay.
my-
Barely
my turn.
does.
Uh,
Not really.
Ray, Lace, and Sifrona went, right? Tacker doesn't know what to
Yes.
do. Aspen, back to you.
How far am I from the door?
You got up to the person, so
I did.
assuming that you were about 20 feet away from Ray and Thara. And I just said Sifrona was 15 feet
15.
away.
So 35?
Yes.
Okay.
Math.
Are these birds looking at me? They attacked Lace twice. I can't tell if they are like targeting Lace.
They're targeting
specifically.
Lace. They're
We want the
specific.
fragment.
They're specifically targeting Lace.
Okay. I don't need to engage then because they're not gonna do anything. I feel like we need to go out the door. So I'm just gonna turn my coward ass around and sprint for the door. I would like to stop in front of Lace and Ray
Okay, that's fair.
so that we can try to get Lace out.
Okay, you can do that. It's its turn.
Uh-oh.
Lace. There's one thing that's going to happen, but you still need to roll regardless for this next attack. So roll me one more dodge defense roll, please.
That's an 8.
Okay. So what happens this time? Go ahead and take a despair because it's been a hot minute since I've given one of those away.
Sure. I'm very upset on account of all the blood.
Fair. Absolutely fair. My question is, where are you keeping Frankie's shard right now?
I'm gonna go with my original instinct, which I shared with Mare earlier, which is straight in the cleavage. It
Yeah.
is my default storage place for things that I don't want to lose.
That's fair.
Amazing.
once again, for the third time, not acknowledging Ray, Aspen, Siphrona, the attacker, or Thara, honestly, guns right for you. However, when you break to dodge, because that's something that automatically happens when you are attacked due to your forte, the flock of birds flies through you, grabs a specific shard, and flies right out the door.
Whoops.
No.
Since the attacker didn't do anything, and we've said that, like, to make it useful to do a defender, can it try to, like, react in this moment?
Narratively, yes. It can narratively react. But GM intrusions, for the joy and the spare that I give, are my way of interacting with the narrative.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So, you can narratively do it. You can narratively take a pot shot.
Yeah.
I'm distressed. Well, currently I'm bleeding out, but if I had the mental fortitude to be, I would be distressed.
This first bird flies away and is slowly followed by the rest of them.
They're in my
They all begin, this entire flock, the ones that are still protruding from Thara's body, also follow until she falls on the ground.
Eesh.
Does Siphrona let us know where this piece of shit is?
Yeah, I would
not?
at this point. Is the birds really going out? I think the birds would be going past her. She doesn't have the reaction speed to do this, but I think as the door opens, she would point at where she would have seen him if they're still there.
They're not.
She would point there anyway. It's like, that's where it was. But it's not. Okay.
Rough.
As we begin to wrap up, let's finish closing out the scene. But what does everyone do in regards to Lace, Thara, the open door and where Siphrona pointed, and so on and so forth?
I think seeing that, like, these birds had escaped, the danger is past, and Drumpta's no longer where she had seen them, I think she will turn around and she will check on Thara. Is Thara, like, not dying? Make sure Thara's not, like, dying.
They are not dead, but they are not well.
Oof. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but she's gonna, like, start ripping strips off the bottom of her skirt to try and wrap this up.
I think Ray's idea is to once like help Siphrona rip, and once they have them, just pick up both Lace and Vara and start booking it towards the closest, like, medical place they can find.
I don't think Lace will 100% will allow Ray to take. I don't think she is, like, cognizant enough to know what has happened, right? Like, I don't think she's realized that the fragment is gone, because she was splintered when it was taken. Like,
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Ray's just concerned about you physically.
sure.
Yeah. Just want to fully not notice that because it was, like, over the back of her head.
So there is not a medical facility in the palindrome.
Oof.
Fantastic.
I did just take a quick look through, like, the general, like, things. I think there's one in Rye River, but that's another district away.
Oof.
So
Yeah, Ray's calling for help. Ray is screaming for help.
Is there? I'm literally like, how I'm like curious, like, how well am I performing basic first aid? That's what my question is.
you can roll.
Oh God.
I do have a fallback for if one of you did die.
7.
But as a game master, I feel like it's very deus machina, and I don't know if I'm comfortable doing it, so I'm leaving the decision in y'all's hands if that is okay.
I did a 7 on the die.
You can put pressure on it to stop bleeding.
Cool. Awesome. Very happy, very proud of myself.
I mean, like, Ray's moving. I don't know, like, I think his straight up thing is like he just wants to protect these two. So I don't think he's thinking much about anything else.
That's fair.
How's Aspen doing?
Yeah, how is everyone doing?
Aspen's going after the angel.
You can run as far as you like into the palindrome, but you get to the edge of the district near the ruined expanses and you can't find them.
Oh, jeez. Checking out my stuff.
I mean, if we're going this far into it, I would go back and try to help the group, but I don't know how much more you want to do.
I will say that you can stabilize everyone. Lace, you are in no danger of dying with all your amazing dodge rolls. Neither is Thara.
Okay, that gives us time to go to the other district then.
Or find like someone who might be able to assist.
Yeah.
I will say, regardless of what you do, you can get Thara help. They do have identification with an actual address. So if you do want to bring them to Rive River, you are more than welcome to. I actually have a feeling that Rive River might actually have the medical facility. I'm just double checking right now. Yes, Rive River has one of the largest medical facilities in Saturnine. It's called Merryweather Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that would be the best place.
Yeah, that's where they're going.
Especially if they're like, everybody's stabilized. It seems like we have time to get there.
She at some point fainted. She's out.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
Out like a light.
Okay.
Someone does have to pay the crystal, but we can do that offline. You do.
Oh, yeah.
We can figure that out.
I have so much money.
I have yeah.
We
all of us who are not Aspen have
money.
so much money.
Okay.
Not a good amount, but I'm gonna let you guys pay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make shit for this, so.
All right. In that case, anything else before we end?
No.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of a fucking angel. Just you wait.
Please fucking do it. Okay. In that case, we are going to end for the night. Sorry for going a little longer, y'all. I hope it was worth it, this ridiculous thing that has happened. But anyway, let's go around and say who we are super quick, where you can find us, and so on and so forth.
Hi,
Go. You.
Hi, I'm Gena. I've been playing Sophrona. We both use she, her. You can find me on Twitter at @_Genathan. And you can also find me on Wednesdays on Girls Run Worlds on our Afterlife Nexus campaign. We are currently, I think we're heading into our 3rd episode next week. Yeah, check out the schedule over there. Give you more details. Yeah.
Love it.
I will go next. I don't remember what order we went in earlier, but I will do that and hope greatly that I am allowed to talk about these things that I'm about to talk about.
Fingers.
You know, it's fine. Or I'll get angry messages on Discord. One of those things will occur. So, hi, my name is Gilly. You can find me at OlaKidsGilly on Twitter, where everything else is linked, as well as being here on Thursdays. I can also be found on the 11th, on Nerds with Dice's channel. We are going to be playing Dialect. I'm running a game of Dialect as part of their Pride series of one-shots. It's going to be very fun. Also, on the 18th of June, I'm going to be playing in one of Exquisite Corpses Pride Month games. I don't know that I'm allowed to announce what it is yet, but it's an all. They're running a series of Oops All with the different Pride identities, and I am at an Oops All Bisexuals table.
Hell yeah.
And it's going to be very fun. And once I know I'm allowed to say the game, I will talk about it at great length. I am also playing this Tuesday on the 6th of June. On Horde of Tales' channel, we are playing Brindlewood Bay. It's on European time, so it will be at 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and later in the evening for most of the Europeans. And it's going to be really fun. I'm playing Muriel Mathers, who is a character I've played before in other systems, but she is a former librarian who solves crimes. We love to see it. And I think that's all for right now. Sorry, I've just been scheduling up my calendar. It's just like session zero. Everything. Anyway, so come hang out, and I will post about these things on my Twitter at some point.
I am happy to jump in. Hello, my name is Kian. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_chiffon. I have been Aspen tonight. My next thing is going to be tomorrow night. I am playing Sleepaway over on Lost Caravan. This is day 1 of 6 in a row for me, so quick list. On Saturday, I am part of the Lost Caravan's Fabula Ultima campaign every other Saturday. It's delightful. On Sunday, I will be playing Monster of the Week over on Exquisite Quartz. I am part of the Oops All Trans table, which I'm super excited about. On Monday, I will be back on Lost Caravan playing Nova. We had a wonderful session last session. This next one's also going to be angsty. And then on Tuesday, I will be playing It Came to Town That Night over on Singularity. That's going to be the first episode of our 4-session campaign throughout June. We're a bunch of queer kids going to camp, and it's going to be a slasher, so I'm super stoked about that. Other than that, check it out on Twitter, and I will keep you updated there. That's me.
All right, folks, I have been your Ray tonight. You can find me on the Mandy's channel most Wednesdays playing a homebrew D&D setting called Miss Lost. I am going to be participating in Orb Witch's Bad Pride Games game jam, and you should too. Make bad games, because you know what? At least you're making a game, and have fun with it. You can look at that at Orb Witch on Twitter. And also, me and Orb Witch are looking to make a mech game, so be on the lookout for that. It's the one I've been talking about.
I think, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Battle. Something Mobile Frame Royal. That's me.
We can do Joy and Despair offline, because we did run a little late. Hi, I'm Mary. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. You can find me here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern for about 2 more episodes of Invisible Sun Thing, Fraying Threads. You can find me on Sundays at Neon Lights Roleplay at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, running Printweave Your Pillars of Ink using this Printweaver system that uses your fingerprints to generate your own characters. And on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time over here, I play your lovely Soul Knife Rogue Star Druid Centaur Acacia. And this week and next week, we will have a guest, Dayan Hutton, who you might better know as the voice of Kate Marsh in Life is Strange. So, everybody, come stick around. It's late. I'm sorry. Anyway, y'all, we will see you next week. Check out all of these amazing people on all the socials and stick around for the raid. We are raiding Neon Lights Roleplay. Everyone, good night, and we will see you next week. Bye.